Straight into the highlights.
This is us.
This LPL Pro presentation is proudly brought to you by Star Insurance.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was action galore for the Star Insurance Project Cars 2 ANZ Championship. Robert Northway chucking it away. Race 1 last week of race 4 of the championship. Simon, it was all over the place.
Yeah, it was craziness. Monkey Matt Smith spinning out at turn 1 and losing an opportunity there at a podium. But it was Daniel Shields who took the win in race 1. Matthew Pluck dive bombs motorised Kiwi down at Spoon Curve. There was action down there as well, as we saw Sam Hunter losing control of his car, having a moment of madness, you could say. He went a little bit wide there. Obviously, Robert Northway, he was in contention for a podium, but unfortunately he had a power cut down at Hope in Christchurch. Daniel Shields came away with back-to-back wins at Sakito Circuit.
So our New Zealand contenders, they're kind of chucking it away a bit here in the Australians. The ANZ Championship, they're coming out. My name's Brendan White and I'm joined by the brains in the commentary, Simon Chapman from Velocity. And we're here live in Sky City's Sky Tower for the Project Cars 2 ANZ Championship, brought to you by Star Insurance Specialist. If you're just tuning in, jump on Twitch, join us in there in the conversation, but also jump on your Facebook right now. Get onto the Let's Play Live Facebook page and you're going to be able to win yourself a drive in the Huracan. Did I say that right,
yeah,
Simon?
Yeah.
Huracan. That's right. Mad Mike Witter, he's building one right now. That just flights, accommodation, karting, everything in there. Just get on there. If you don't enter, get on there. If you don't enter, you're not going to win. Now, Simon, we're coming to the back end of the championship, the pointy end, and I guess it's been interesting. We've now had wet racing, we've had pit strategies.
Yep.
What's your thoughts on it so far?
There's been plenty of action. I think we sort of got off to a little bit of a slow start, you could say, at Ruapuna. It was really tight and twisty down there, but as soon as we got to those big international open circuits, we went to China, we had the triple header at Japan, which we're going to finish off tonight. There was just so much action going on. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the rest of this championship.
All right, well, before we get into it, let's have a look at the tournament structure, what it's about. So, simply, this is made up of 16 races across New Zealand and Australia, 7 track locations. It's going to finish in Mount Panorama, 2 races per location, 6 weeks to make it up, and then the winners, those top 8, they're coming here, Sky City Theatre, where you guys can join us in the theatre. Who's going to be that Project Cars ANZ Championship winner? Well, you will find out if you're there live. Now, the game settings, the rules. Simon, there's been a few upsets with this one. It's made it a bit harder for the drivers.
Yeah, one of the big things we've seen this season, obviously, is the damages, physical and performance impacting. So if these guys bang doors, go nose to tail, hit wheels, you know, that's going to affect how these cars drive. So this is the car they are driving. It's the Ferrari 488 GT3, topping out at 303 kilometres an hour. Pretty fast, this thing. These boys have been finding it to be a little bit more of a struggle, I think, than what they anticipated. It's a lot more loose than what they were thinking, but obviously those wet conditions that we've had in the last 2 weeks haven't really helped that. So I think tonight, SPORTSLAND SUGO, possibly a little bit drier, I'm hoping. We'll see how that plays out once we get into the track preview.
Well, we'll check out the track preview very, very shortly. But before we do that, the judicial or the official system has actually had one of the drivers submit something, and it's going to come up on the screen right now. Simon, explain what's the go here.
So Robert Murphy's Law Northway basically can't compete in the last 2 rounds. So as Mrs. is dragging him off to Indianapolis, they're going to the States to watch the 103rd running of the Indianapolis 500. Can't blame him, to be fair. I think I'd rather go to Look,
if my missus is watching at home, if you want to drag me away to Indianapolis rather than the grand final, that's fine with me as well. But the officials, obviously, we're here, we're in a championship, they're contracted to do certain things. And the other races, they take this seriously. Some guys are practicing 30 hours a week, which is pretty insane for a championship. And we'll talk about the e-gaming side of it and the motor racing side of it a bit later on in the show. Yeah, we'll talk about that later in the show as well. But let's look at where we've been and where we're going. So it was so cool to start off in New Zealand.
Yeah, Kiwi start off at Christchurch, Ruapuna, Robert Murphy's Law, his hometown, but unfortunately he had a bit of an awkward one there. We went to Juhai, Fuji Speedway and Sakito Circuit. Now we're into week 5 of 7. We go to SPORTSLAND SUGO, a personal favourite of mine. Daniel Shields obviously has got 2 wins to his name, 2 round wins to his name, but as we'll see, yeah, it's Aussies have taken out 3 or 4 rounds, but we'll see in the standings here how the officials have decided to change things up, because now he's on 0 points.
So New Zealand, one of New Zealand's biggest hopes, the officials have actually taken his points away. Now that's huge. So you look at the top 8 on the left-hand side of the ladder. Daniel Shields, he's currently the one that's vying for the prize. So the top 8, those top 8, all the way down to Dave Stone are the ones coming to SkyCITY Theatre, and they're vying for that title.
Yeah, but look how close it is in the top 3. Just 20 points covering the top 3 there. We see Monkey Matt Smith down at P4 there, 144 points adrift. But Daniel Shields, Matthew Pluck, and Kyle Madden split by only 20 points. So this weekend could possibly see one of these guys, I guess, take the advantage. Looking at 7th and 8th, Motorised Kiwi and Dave Stone, those guys are sort of on the fringe of things, because you've still got guys like Rotax Howler, who's only, maybe 40 points behind Dave Stone, potentially able to get into the top 8 now that Robert Murphy's Law is out of contention. So if you're anywhere between 9th and, say, 11th, you're probably going to be hopefully gunning for a top 5 position tonight to get that in for the top 8.
It's what they call the bubble in racing, right? So basically, you'll see it in NASCAR and most racings. It's the people that are going to drop out of the championship ladder. And we're going to find out all about that. But first off, Simon needs to clean himself up, put some makeup on. So we'll come back to you guys very shortly after the break. Catch you very shortly.
The Star Insurance Project Cars 2 ANZ Championship is proudly brought to you in association with Logitech G, gaming with science.
Like us, you're passionate about cars. At Star Insurance Specialist, we create custom policies for Kiwis with exceptional vehicles. If you own a vintage, classic, performance, project or prestige car, your needs don't fit neatly into a box. We think special and unique cars deserve special and unique insurance. We don't let robots determine policy or price. Get on the road with a custom policy from Star Insurance Specialists. Go to starinsure.co.nz today.
Need a ride? Thanks to Ola and Let's Play Live, we are hooking you up. Simply download the Ola app and type in the code Let's Ride to get your first ride free. T's and C's apply.
Test your limit. Drive with the fastest.
Through into the inside. Has he got it, McQueen? Will he block?
Take control.
And he gets it. Job done. Can he hold on to it?
Redefine speed.
Home straight. Who's it going to be?
Fantastic racing. Look, he is pumped. He is absolutely stoked.
Be the fastest.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are live out of Auckland, SkyCITY Sky Tower, and all you've got to do to win yourself a case of Mammoth, just go to our Facebook page, the Let's Play Live HQ Facebook page. Head on in there, all the details are there, and you can actually win yourself Mammoth. And it's pretty simple. If a job's worth doing, it's worth smashing Mammoth. And they're actually quite nice. Simon was drinking it and spilling it all over the table as we were in the advert break, which he's trying to clean up. Now, Simon, before we get into anything else, track conditions, what we're going to be seeing, obviously, for the track, Sugo, Japan. You say it's tight, it's technical, it's quite fun to race. What is the difference with that with some of these big open tracks?
One of the main things you'll notice is just how narrow it is. You can look behind here, you can see there's probably on the best pit of maybe 3 car widths available on the circuit, whereas when we were racing at Fuji Speedway, it was obviously quite wide and quite open. That front straight, you could just about go 10 wide if you really wanted to. But looking at SPORTSLAND SUGO, 2 90-degree right-handers to start things off. So off the start for these guys, it'll probably be a little bit chaotic because I've driven here on the sim and it is very tight into turn 1. Even in real life, they have to go pretty slow. Into turn 5 and 6 there, you'll see the little left-right chicane.
Yep.
That's line astern through there. You have to basically go one by one through there.
Right.
Then you've got basically a double right-hander, that long straight into not quite a hairpin, sort of a sweeper, but you are hard on the brakes to try and get the thing turned in. Then you've got that double left-hander through the stadium section, and then that final big sweeping right-hander is really critical for qualifying because these guys go down the hill. They've got to maintain as much momentum through the corner as possible and get a run off the corner that's going to basically launch them into their lap. So we'll go into qualifying in a moment and we'll see who can put together a quick lap around SPORTSLAND SUGO. They've got 7 minutes and 45 seconds to bank a lap around here. You can see that chicane is super tight through there. Monkey Matt just getting held up there by one of the cars. I believe this will probably be their outlap. This is their first time out on track here at SPORTSLAND SUGO. As we were saying, you can have a look there and see it. It isn't perhaps the widest circuit. There are plenty of overtaking opportunities. Down here is a good one. A long straight to play with. You go up the hill, and then, as we say, into this sort of, not quite a hairpin, but not quite a sweeper, this corner through here. Opportunities are plenty, but you can defend pretty effectively if you know how to do it. Then this double left-hander, a great opportunity here to get up behind the car, maybe try and slot it down the inside. But then obviously this downhill section here, this is what I was talking about, the big sweeping right-hander, up the hill, onto the front straight, and then you start your flying lap. So we'll stay here with Monkey Matt. This will be his first flying lap here at SPORTSLAND SUGO.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, if you're just joining us, we are in the Let's Play Live studios. We're live. It's actually Sky Tower, believe it or not, inside the Sky Tower. And it's brought to you by Star Insurance. It's the Project Cars 2 ANZ Championship. So you've got races from Australia and New Zealand right now. The Australians are actually kind of handing it to the Kiwis, the series. We let them in. Maybe we won't let them back in next year. But look, if they make the top 8, qualifying is also important as Monkey Matt goes for a lot of dirt turbo and hits the fence there. So he will go straight back to the pits and try to get a flying lap. Now, if these guys qualify well, and the likes of Daniel Shields, they will be flowing over from Australia to join us inside SkyCity's theatre for the main one, the Mount Panorama one, which just so happens to be one of their hometown tracks as well. So they've got 5 minutes to go to lay the the time out. Now, if you're not familiar with motorsport and racing, what you do is you come out of the pits, which would be here on your right, into this right-hander, double right-hander, double 90s, as they would say, or someone would say. And this is where you really want to have your tyres warmed up, and you want to get a flying lap. So often you want to hold back from traffic and lap traffic and get yourself some clean air and set a really good time. So the times you see are on the top left-hand side of the screen. Currently a 1:18 by Daniel Shields, and he's in the pits at the moment, and 1:19 by Kyle Madden. Now, Simon, you're our technical expert here. Times on Sugo. Did you research that?
No, I didn't.
Okay, you're fired. That's okay. We'll find that out later. New Zealand Simon Bishop, however, he is our Kiwi, and he is currently sitting in second for the qualifying. And I can actually tell you, Simon, what these fastest times are. So the world record in the 488 GT3, I was just setting you up to fail, to be honest.
Thanks.
1:17.447, and that's in a 488 GT3.
That's
Now, we look at it now. Yeah, exactly. So that's the point I was trying to make. 1:17. So we're sitting on a 1:18. So we're not far off there. Daniel Pinkham, who's actually a competitor in something that was on this weekend. Pinkham, he's set a 1:20.561, and Dave Stone, who's also a competitor, currently sitting. Not quite sure where, has set a 1:20.915. World record overall is a 57 second, which is
In the Formula X.
yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
I
That
think
thing's
next
nuts.
season, can we do Formula X?
No.
Why not?
Too fast.
What do you mean too fast?
Or they'll just crash all
People
the
want
time.
entertainment. We want crashes. We want excitement.
Drama.
Yes, exactly. That's what we're trying to aim for New Zealand motorsport, right?
Yeah. Interesting point to
Not
make.
drama. Action.
Robert Northway, he sent me a message about 5 minutes before we got going here tonight, and he said, "Watch out for me in race 2. I'm planning on having some fun and starting from the back. The best part of racing is overtaking, so why not have some fun here?" So a little bit cocky there from Robert Northway.
So he's going to send it up the inside.
Yeah, deciding to start from the back and obviously do a bit of sending. Saying that tyre wear is going to be interesting. He guesses that maybe over the 25 laps, taking no tyres versus taking 4 tyres will be about the same. So these Hankook or Pirelli tyres, not sure what we're using tonight, do last long. They're an endurance style tyre, so you can run them for the best part of an hour. It says basically 6 seconds is the difference between taking tyres and no tyres. Now, those guys who have opted to not take tyres traditionally in the series so far have benefited quite a lot. They gain a lot more time. We've seen passes being made in the pit stop. We've seen Daniel Pinkham go for a little bit of a spin there out of turn 7. So pit strategy will be key tonight, as we've seen all season. I think a lot of these guys
getting
are...
undercut.
Yeah, these guys are realising now that maybe you don't need to take tyres. They do last the duration of the race. I think it's more about getting the car settled than anything.
So interesting, Daniel Shields warming up the tyres as he's coming out of the pit now, so to get some heat in those tyres. So what you're telling me is if Daniel Shields does a full 25 laps, so on lap 23 and 24, he's going to be peachy, mate. He's going to be singing at home versus Monkey Matt, who's just got tyres.
Yeah, the tyres, they can last. It is only maybe a 25 lap race.
Yeah.
Takes about, what was that, a minute 18 to do a lap around here. You're probably lapping in the 119s, 120s in race trim. So...
All right, so let's put some wagers on here for beers afterwards, Simon. Who's your money on?
For pole or for the race?
Okay, let's go pole in the race. Pole, I'm going to go Shields.
Oh,
yep.
Damn it.
And the race, I'm going to go Simon Bishop.
I'm going with Kyle Madden. I think he's due for a good result. I think...
Wait, what are you talking, pole here? And you guys can play this game too at home.
Shields is already on pole position at the moment.
Exactly, that's why you already owe me a beer.
Yeah,
so
Shields is probably going to get pole position here. Matt Smith is the only guy who's within even close distance of him. He's 7/10 behind. Simon Bishop is a second, 1.2 seconds behind. Forget pole position because Daniel Shields has probably already got it, but I'm going to go for Kyle Madden for the race.
All right, so you're going for an Australian. That's nice. Okay.
Yeah. Race 2.
Race 2. Pluck.
I'm going for Pluck.
Writing that down.
I'm probably going to be wrong.
He was, but he did show a lot of promise in the last few races. Race Championship 4, Championship 3 round.
Yeah.
Pluck at the moment sitting in 5th position on the left-hand side of the screen there. I don't know what the red means again. Does it, because it's qualifying, so they can't have a penalty already for.
Well, if you exceed track limits, your time might get invalidated.
Right.
So they might have had their time on that last lap just cut entirely. So. Interesting thing as well that Robert sent through, he said the last part that could be worth mentioning is that he and Matthew Pluck have had a close rivalry, almost a friendship in some ways, in sim racing for the past 5 years at Kiwi Sim Racing. These guys have been racing in different championships, whether it's iRacing or R Factor. So these guys have obviously raced each other before. Currently, Northway is sitting down there in P9 and Pluck is all the way up there in P5. So keep an eye on those two. They've definitely know how to race. They've raced each other together before for the past 5 years, so a good rivalry between those two.
Some aggressive curbs here at Sugo. And you pronounce it Sugo?
Sugo, yep.
Sugo, right, Japan. So the last leg, Japan, and then we go to the infamous, the beautiful, it's kind of mysterious if you haven't been there, Dubai. And then we finish up where it all started 2 years ago, which is the GT, which is Mount Panorama Bathurst, that's right. And that's where we will crown an ANZ Project Cars 2 New Zealand champion. So time is up now for the first qualifying. Daniel Shields out there, 1:18.279 on the front, 1:18 by Kyle Madden. Monkey Matt with a 1:19, Simon Bishop with a 1:19 as well. So very close in qualifying, all the way down to Cooper's in number 8, Pinkman, well, 1:20, so quite time. We see this a lot, don't we? We see them very close in qualifying, but then when we get to the race, they just lose it.
Yeah, well, I think we'll see some drama down at turn 1, as we can see on Daniel Shields on board. Look at how narrow it is into turn 1. It narrows up a lot. So the session is complete. Shields is your pole man as it stands right now. We watch Monkey Matt Smith. Can he put in a barn burner right at the end of this session? He's still 17th drift as it stands. Does he do a better lap? No. So he will stay P3 overall for the session. Shields is just putting on an absolute clinic this season. He's won 2 rounds of 4 so far, and his Australian counterpart has won the other one. So we've only had one Kiwi win 1 round. I guess this is kind of payback for supercars and Scott McLaughlin, I guess.
All right, so I see in the chat there that Alki unfortunately got himself disconnected. So we don't know if he'll be back at this stage for race 1. And there's some banter going on though as well about people using their mirrors as well from Bull. Bull being
Matthew Pluck.
Matthew Pluck, right. So he's not too happy about that, ladies and gentlemen, as we are here. Here you go. Here is your qualifying results for championship round number 5, race 1 from Sugo. Daniel Shields takes it out again. Kind of no surprise there. Good to see that Monkey Matt stepped himself up to 3rd position. Kyle Madden, the Madzi AU, both from Brisbane, Australia, sitting in 2nd position. And New Zealand, Simon Bishop, your favourite Simon, in 4th position.
Matthew Pluck there sitting down in P5. He's one of my picks for one of the race winners today. Robert Murphy's a little Northway down there in P6, Sam Hunter in P7. Daniel Pinkham in P8 and Alistair Coopers in P9. Motorised Kiwi Michael Robinson rounding out the top 10. Roy Oliver sits on the cusp of the top 10 in 11th. Damien Main, a bit of an average performance from him considering what he's been able to do this season. He sits down there in P12. It's Shane T. Meng in P13. Benjamin Crow in P14 and George Star down in 15th, the last man on the grid. So we look forward to race 1 here of the night at Sugo Sportsland.
Now, it's tight, technical track, ladies and gentlemen. Well, kind of after your message with Northway, I almost feel like Northway is just going to send it up on the inside and just try to stay up front. But, you know, the obvious, Daniel Shields and Kyle Madden, the Australians are really going to be ones to look at, and Simon Bishop. But why don't we just go straight to the race right now, ladies and gentlemen. It is race 1 of Championship Round 5 of the Star Insurance Project Cars 2 ANZ Championship. That's right, we're live here in Auckland's beautiful SkyCITY Sky Tower. Who will get the jump? Shields on pole position, Kyle Madden on 2nd position, and the Kiwis sitting on 3rd and 4th.
Matt Smith, Simon Bishop, they make up row 2. Then we have Matthew Pluck and Robert Northway for another all-Kiwi row 3. Daniel Pinkham in P7 there, and Sam Hunter, he'll be looking for a bit of redemption after his mistake. Alistair Cooper's down in P9 there. Motorised Kiwi Michael Robinson rounding out the top 10. Roy Oliver down in 11th. Damien Main alongside him, and Shane T. Meng alongside Mr. Crow. So George Star brings up the rear of the field. Unfortunately, one of our drivers can't make the start of this race. Daniel Shields will be the man off pole position as we get ready to go racing. We get 4, 5 red lights. Who will get the jump? A little bit of a lurch by one of the drivers. It looks like one driver hasn't gone anywhere at the back of the field. But Daniel Shields, he's going to take the whole shot into turn 1. A bit of door banging down into turn 1 further behind them. Can they get through turn 1 and 2 cleanly? Looks like it. Matt Smith, he gets shuffled down the order. He's going to fall down. Oh no, and there's drama already. Matt Smith, he's had a bit of a bingle there. Looks like Simon Bishop. Another car going off. Can't quite pick up who that is. Northway, where's he sitting now? It looks like he's fallen down the order as well. So Motorised Kiwi and Northway having a bit of a bingle at the start there. Coopers is down in P14. So Northway, having qualified in the top 10, has fallen down to 14th. That's not the way he would want to start this race here at Sportsland Sugo. But it's Shields, who's already established a 1.5 second lead over Matthew Pluck. Kyle Madden, a comfortable P3 there, just hustling to get by Pluck on this opening lap here. Pinkham has moved his way up into P4. Motorised Kiwi, where's he? He's fallen down the order. Yeah, he's still 15th. Matt Smith managed to stay out of too much trouble and is sitting there in 5th. Roy Oliver, a good start from him. He's managed to maintain 6th overall, and Simon Bishop fallen down to P7. So it looks like we've had one driver disconnect as well. Can't quite pick up who that is.
Motorised Kiwi. So Motorised Kiwi, unfortunately, his screen froze on the start line, if I'm correct. So,
and no, more drama.
Rob, of everyone that was going to spin by himself, Robert Northway.
Yeah, I think he might have a bit of drama going on there with this car. Obviously missing the rear bumper. The front end took a bit of a whack too. Got one car already coming into the pit, so that looks like Simon Bishop. And who else? Lap 1 pit stop. You've obviously got to do the one compulsory pit stop in this race. Bishop electing not to take tyres that time by. Looks like Benjamin Crowe has made his way into the pit stop as well. Northway carries on, but he's some 23 seconds adrift of the lead here on lap 2. So it's Shields who leads by 1.3 seconds from Pluck, Madden, Pinkham, and Matt Smith.
Now, do you think with the Simon Bishop pit stop there, do you think maybe too soon for the undercut here as we look further down the field?
It looks like Shang Meng has gone off on his own there, unfortunately out of turn 6. Yeah, I don't know. Doing the undercut this early on in the race is good and bad. Obviously, you get the pit stop out of the way while guys are still trying to get up to speed. You can see that first lap time there by Shields was only a 1:23. So, yeah, I guess in some ways you do get a little bit of an advantage by pitting early. Obviously, Bishop has decided he's not going to take tyres. And look, you see that last lap, it was only a 1:41, so it only cost him maybe, well, considering how long it took for some of these guys to do their first lap, only the best part of maybe 5 to 10 seconds in the grand scheme of things.
6 seconds though for a pit stop, as Robert said earlier on. So, all right, so Matthew Pluck out there trying to catch Shields down second position. We're going to have a quick look back. What went on? All right, there you go, Monkey Matt. Has a big love tap there. That was obviously with Robert Northway.
Yeah, and then we see one of the other guys just go spearing across the track. I wonder if he got caught up in the incident as well. But yeah, I don't think Northway will be particularly pleased after that move. Probably not far up enough to be a clean pass there. So we'll keep an eye on here. Northway, this is a bit of a bizarre one. Looks like maybe he just got the rear loose, corrected, and it sort of just shot across the track. So lost it all on his own, maybe sort of a remnants of his damage that he's got to his car. So unfortunately, he's outside the top 10 as it stands. Still it's Shields who's holding a stable 1.7 second lead over Pluck and Madden. So there's a few guys who have made their pit stop. You only do need to take one pit stop in this race. 25 laps around Sportsland Sugo. Shields has got a handy margin over Pluck. Pluck will be hoping to reel him in as this race continues, but Shields has shown that he's the all-star competitor in this championship.
Only by 1 second, 1.1 of a second at this stage.
It's a healthy margin though in GT3 racing.
Why? 0.1 of a second?
No, 1 second.
1 second?
1 second. It's now 2 seconds actually.
Oh.
It's getting out to 2 seconds. So Pluck's got to reel that back in if he wants to have a chance of winning this. Maybe he decides to pit early and try and affect that undercut, but Shields will probably be wise to that now that we're heading towards the back end of the season. So
look, if you guys are going out tonight or you're going anywhere actually in New Zealand and you want to get a ride, well, download the Ola app. It's just popped up on your guys' screen. Use the code Let's Ride, and you guys are going to be able to get, I think it's $20 they're giving you. Yep, $20 off your first ride, and I'm pretty sure they've actually got half price rides as well. So great service there from the Ola guys. Just download the app and you'll see what I'm talking about. We'll talk about that more a bit later on in the show. So we are at Sugo for the Star Insurance Project Cars 2 ANZ Championship. Shields out in front, just dominating this whole year. Someone just needs to take him out. Robert Northland needs to come in and just be like, boom, and then we'll just get some action. Now, I know I'm not meant to promote, this, but at the same time, as the director says in here, oi, I think, we want nice, close races here. And let's talk about parity, and let's talk about imbalance and weight and central gravity and races, putting in the time. This guy says he only practices 2 hours a week. Where some of these guys are practicing 15 to 20 hours a week. It clearly isn't the car, Simon, because the car's the same as everybody else's. Yep. Is he that good?
Yeah, well, that's one of the things with league racing. League racing is obviously BOP'd. There's a balanced performance where all these cars are basically identical. There's nothing that separates Daniel Shields' car versus George Starr's car down at the bottom. Shields is obviously just good. I think that's pretty much the only way to look at it. He is the class of this field. He knows how to drive this car. He's figured it out fairly early on how to drive it. It's a lot more loose than what we'd expect it to be. The Ferrari 488 is generally quite a pointy car, understeers more than oversteers, but this thing seems to get quite tail happy on the corner exits. But Shields has managed to tame the beast, tame the horse, and he's riding it like a champion tonight. So Shields doing a fantastic job here. 2.6 seconds in the lead.
I love your pun with the Ferrari and the horse and, tame the horse. It's good, Or, obviously, if we were a Lamborghini, it'd be tame the bull or slam bull. Yeah. How cool is that? All right, so look, you guys, if you're in New Zealand and you love motorsport, what is happening this weekend, Simon? It is the North Island Endurance Route. Yes. Pukekohe Park Raceway. Pukekohe Park, Ineos North Island Endurance Series. I'll be heading down there tomorrow and Saturday. You can catch some of the coverage there on thefastfiles.com. They're going to be doing some intermittent live streaming across the day for the 3 hour and the 1 hour, as we see a bit of a glitch on the screen there. Yeah, great wee series. Lots of GT3 cars like this. Dude, I was down at Pukekohe Park today, and I was just looking at the amount of machinery rolling in. Now, if you guys are new to motorsport in New Zealand, you've got various classes, and there's a lot. There's the rumours of the TCR coming over for next year. You've got Central Muscle cars, you've got GDR NZ, you've got the TRS, the 86, the D1 NZ. You've got so much, but the Ineos North Island Endurance Series, it's kind of, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, it's kind of the rich man's playground, isn't it?
In a way. Endurance racing.
The cars are amazing.
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of endurance racing. So, GT3 cars and GT4 cars are purpose-built race cars designed to go for a really long time. So, when you jump in a GT3 car, you're basically supposed to be driving this thing for the best part of anywhere between.
So this car.
12. Yeah, this Ferrari 488 GT3 races for 24 hours.
See, if I jumped in a 488, I'd be very, very scared to put my foot down on the accelerator, let alone thrash it for 12 hours straight.
But the beauty of these cars is that they've got lots of assists. They've got traction control, they've got ABS. They're insanely safe, and they're basically, the way to look at it is the general rule of thumb that people use is they're an easy car to drive, but they're a hard car to drive fast.
Right.
So you or I could...
Except if you're Daniel Shields.
Yeah, of course. You or I could jump into one of these cars.
Battle going on between Damien Main and...
Shane T. Ming, I think.
Yeah, it is Shane T. Ming.
Yeah, so you could jump in one of these cars.
Sitting behind him as well.
And you could basically jump in it and tootle around Pukekohe Park and be like, oh my God, there's walls everywhere. But you could complete a few laps around there at a relatively good speed.
Now, you're a man with many, many contacts. Do you think you could arrange that for us for maybe the winner of Project Cars this year?
Daniel Shields is in Australia, so...
Good cop. Good cop out there. All right, a bit of a gap extended there from Hunter over... Oh, Main. Northway, sitting in 10th position. He's not going to be happy sitting down the back there, as he's probably tuned in on Twitch. Have you tuned on Twitch as his bumper sort of gives us a little smiley grin as it comes down the straight? If you're tuned in on Twitch, join in on the conversation. Simon is sitting in on there. Ask him some questions. He likes long walks along the beach. Single young man like yourself, wealthy and all.
Yeah, so we got a
Daniel
question.
Shields in the pits now, very self, sorry, I should say. The director saying, be quiet in my ear again.
We've got a question. How long has this been running for, Brendan? This is what, season 2? Season 2 of Project Cars?
Yes, it is season 2 of Project Cars. We did do something in SkyCITY Theatre the year before that. It was the GT championship round that we done at Bathurst, and I think I commentated for 3 hours straight with no breaks.
Yeah.
It was a very interesting learning curve as far as how you can talk. But we won't be doing that again. We'll be coming to SkyCITY Theatre after Dubai. That's right, Mount Panorama Bathurst. We do come back, and that will be the grand final. And you guys can come along. Come along. It's going to be pretty epic. Lots of prizes up for grab. Simon's going to be there in his mankini. It's going to be all sorts of goodness happening at SkyCITY Theatre. As we say hello to Miss Potter online and everybody tuned in as well. If you're tuned in on Sky TV right now, you can actually jump on, download the app Twitch if you want, and join in on the conversation as we have a bit of a lapped traffic coming up here as well. Or is this the actual battles? No, this is the battles that Shields is trying to get. Yep, Shields is obviously pitted now. So Shields is taking his pit and he's got that traffic. So sitting right in front of him is Shane T. Mang. And right in front of him is Maine, and Maine makes it really easy. Shane makes it really easy. Guys, come on, you're not making it easy for this Australian. That's been sarcastic there, by the way.
Yeah, nah. Shields getting a free kick there with Shane T. Meng. And Damien Main getting into a little bit of trouble on their own. Robert Northway is also trying to scythe his way through a bit of this action here. He's sandwiched between Shane T. Meng and Damien Main here. He's managed to pass Damien Main after he had a bit of a whoopsie. But it looks like Main's going to try and make... Is he going to cut his losses and come into the pits? No, he's not. So further behind them, it looks like Simon Bishop has decided to come into the pits as well. Actually, no, I lied. That is Damien Main, and we're actually watching Simon Bishop battle here with Robert Northway. Oh no, he spun him around.
He stops.
Oh wow! So that was a really awkward incident. So that's probably the third incident there for Robert Northway.
You know what he's doing, eh? He's just out there having a play.
I don't know. This is bizarre.
Well, at the same time, though, he's out there playing, but I get in the air. Be careful because none of them seem to be his fault as well, whether I'm right or wrong. Yeah. Now, so really, what I want to see is Northway get really nice and close to number 7, and current position 7, and just sort of just
Mr. Shields.
Yeah, just have a little fun up there. But first, obviously, he has to get through New Zealand Simon Bishop, who he just had that, and Shane Timang.
Yeah. With a name like Daniel Shields, he's going to be blocking like crazy, mate. This guy, he's going to put up the defences, get the shields up. He knows how to block. Shields down there in P7, doing a fantastic job here. He's done his first pit stop.
Did you really just use shields?
Yeah, I just made a shields
blocking
pun.
as a pun.
Yeah.
Now we said we were going to do
good,
puns. If you guys are joining online with us, Pun City's a word tonight. And you would have just seen download the get onto our Facebook page. You can drive and actually, because at Hampton Downs, you go down there and they've got
tonight at SkyCITY.
Mustangs, they've got all sorts of different cars. You've got the go-karts. Well, if you enter on can we enter? Are we allowed to enter?
I want to.
I'm sure we can.
We just join.
We don't work. We just come in here and volunteer our time to talk gospel about motorsport. Yeah. So just get onto the Let's Play Live HQ Facebook page, and all the details are up there, and you can actually win yourself. And I really, truly do say this: if you don't enter, you don't win. So just get on there and enter. You can win the drive of the Lamborghini, which I know actually someone crashed one of those drive ones a couple of years back. I can't say who because it was actually one of
NDAs.
yeah, NDAs. But so you can actually hire and go drive those. But if you enter this, you can win the drive of the Huracan. You can also win flights, accommodation at the beautiful Sky City. I just had dinner at Andy's Bar and Grill tonight. Good burgers. And obviously the go-karting as well. Self-promotion there for Sky City. Why not? They're epic sponsors.
I love those go-karts. Those go-karts are just brilliant.
Love them because you suck and you drive everybody off the track. Yeah, I came last.
Brendan, leave
Pluck, now in third position. Has Pluck taken his pit stop?
No.
No.
But he's plucking one out of the bag at the moment here with the lead. I don't know how he's managed to do that because Shields down in P6 there. 36 seconds adrift. I reckon if he came into the pit now, he might actually be pretty close to him. I'd almost want to cover Shields here, try and come into the pits, take no fuel, take no tyres, just get through there and try and steal away the lead from Shields. Brendan, why are you laughing?
Because you're pun citying. It's awesome. All right. So Matthew Pluck out in there. Oh, that's a good one. You can't be chicken. You've just got to go for it.
Oy.
Pluck a gear.
Jesus
Disappear.
Christ. That's horrific.
It's horrific. Oh, we can't use the name. All right. Monkey Matt. Who's in third position?
I don't know. Roy Oliver, I think.
Roy Oliver, there we go. It's good to see Oliver and Pingman, but I'm pretty sure they probably wouldn't have pitted at this stage. Kyle Madden, fifth position, has he pitted? There we go, Roy Oliver. Bit of screen time for the man, and if they say you're not winning, you should be crashing. Now, in this case...
He's doing neither of those. Yeah, unfortunately, Roy Oliver, he's just sitting down there in P3, biding his time, perhaps. It'll be interesting to see, I wonder if in future iterations of the championship, whether or not we have safety cars or things like that, you know, from people crashing. iRacing do it. It can be quite interesting how they manage those.
Oh, look, there's a lot of talk in the office and around rules and regulations, how to make this, you know, they're really, really keen on making this Project Cars Championship interesting, but it's just what the game allows with multiplayers from different locations all around Australia and New Zealand to keep it fair and in practice. But there's a bit of talk around potentially the idea of using a different car every week, or players being able to choose the different cars. So it's just that consistency around the rules and regulations for parity. I want to have a Mustang. If I was going to drive anything, my name would be Scott, and I'll be driving a red Mustang.
I've got an idea. How about we have a qualifying round? You have to drive, let's say the Ferrari 488 GT3, for example.
Well, we wouldn't do that because Daniel Shields would win, but carry on.
All right, let's say we use the Genetta G... Oh, wait, no, we've done that. How about we use the Ford V8 supercar that you've got in this game? That's your qualifying round.
Or Mad Mike Red Bull.
You can't really cut clean laps in that because that's going to be sideways. But let's say hypothetically.
Takes his pit now. Has he got a big enough lead? Was 128, was 128. Will that be enough? Monkey Mac now comes in as well. His Pluck, no, gets past. Now, was that a pass, as in we're about to find out as he comes back out of the pit? Where's he going to sit in his position? Did he have enough time on the board to maintain first position?
I think he has.
Epic.
He's still P1, so I don't know where he's plucked that one out, but he's still P1 ahead of Roy Oliver. So Shields is, at some point has dropped a handful of time. He's still quick out on track, but he's only P5. But yeah, as I was saying, I reckon next season, randomise the cars every weekend, not even giving us an idea what car they're going to drive. Just chuck them in straight away into qualifying with a random car.
For Pluck, is this paddle shift? Or
yes.
It is paddle shift.
It is paddle shift, right. Yeah. See, plucking gears, still kind of works, I guess.
Well, Pluck, like paddle, don't worry.
Yeah. Pluck a gear,
flew
right?
over your head, pluck a gear. Or paddle, like a duck.
Paddle,
pluck.
Yeah.
No,
these are bad.
These are
really bad.
Help us out here on Twitch. All right, there you go. Download Ola. Let's Ride as your coupon. It's nationwide. It's the same drivers as many other of those apps that you can get to take you from here to there. But it's half the price, cheaper fares, and they don't take the mickey. So, Ola, hook it up. Be using that tomorrow when our boys' night goes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friday nights for the boys.
No, Saturdays for the boys.
Oh.
Yeah. Come on, mate. You'll be out trackside.
Hola, that means hello, isn't it? I guess that's what you're going to say to your driver when they rock up, right? You'll be like, hola.
Hola. they actually say it in their advert different ways. They're like, hola. And they're like, hola. Okay. And you're like, well, which one is it?
You're sending mixed messages.
Matthew Pluck getting a bit of, was that Robert Northway he just passed?
No. Oh, no, I don't think so. Northway's sitting down at P7, and he's only 25 seconds to drift. So I think Pluck's doing all right at the moment.
So you actually had Pluck for race 2.
I should have swapped it.
Yeah, I had Shields.
Well, you're not getting that at the moment.
And then I had Simon Bishop.
He's 15 seconds behind. I wonder whether Shields has taken too much too much fuel. Taking the full tyres and fuel. Because he's 15 seconds behind.
Very quick.
Now, Pluck's probably done nothing. He's probably taken no fuel or a little bit of fuel and no tyres. Maybe 2 tyres, maybe only 1 tyre. Who knows? Be interesting to see how these guys have strategized their race wins here, but it's Pluck who currently leads on lap 14 of 25 here. Kyle Madden, P2, Shields in P3. Simon Bishop, man, he will be praying that he can catch up to Shields there in P3 there. Motorised Kiwi in P5.
All right, Simon, so while we have lap 15 of 25, 10 laps to go here, LPL, we're in the Let's Play Live studios. They don't just do project cars here, they do all sorts of cool random things. Daniel Pinkman now in a little battle with Northway. Northway's just not on form tonight, unfortunately. Maybe the fact that the officials ripped his points out of him has just got his mojo away from him. They've sent his mojo north. Is that good?
That's
No,
bad.
That was bad as well.
That's horrific.
All right. Pinkman has a look on the outside and comes back on in. Kiwis in motorsport this weekend. What's going on?
Lots.
Check it out on velocitynews.co.nz, is it?
Yep. Yeah. What is it? 7:42 now. Yeah. So lots happening. Scott Dixon, Liam Lawson, Marcus Armstrong, Jackson Evans, Hunter McElroy, Brendan Leach.
Now you're name dropping. Could you tell us what, or do we have to go to Velocity?
Yeah, well,
Check it out.
Scott Dixon's racing an IndyCar over in America this weekend in the IndyCar Grand Prix at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So
Which is where Robert Northway is going?
heading. Yeah, he's heading. So that's the precursor to the Indianapolis 500. It's where they actually race on the road course, which is inside the speedway. Cool little track that is. I think those guys just want to get through that weekend and then get into the speedway stuff. So
I do apologise for that.
Bless you, Brendan. So there's plenty going on this weekend. Blancpain GT, Andre Heimgartner, John O'Lester, Chris Van Drift are all racing at Chang International Circuit in Thailand, and Brendan Leach is also racing on the support card in Formula 3. So yeah, plenty going on.
All right, Daniel Pinkman and Robert Northway still having a little battle there.
Oh, how's the
Robert
block? Northway goes east. That was horrific. He just goes straight across the nose of Pinkham.
Nice slow one there, Simon.
Is he going to block him into turn one? Just hangs him out wide.
Here we go.
To the west.
Daniel has a look on the right.
Pinkham can't find a way past Northway, but far out. How was that block? Northway just comes straight across the bow of Pinkham's car and nearly sends him into the fence.
Not really sure what Robert Northway's up to tonight, though.
Oh, he's just having a bad one. Just having a mare, mate.
Could we do something like teams racing in this?
Yeah.
Like you've got teams in supercars and there's strategy and there's, ranks and bosses' orders. Like just last weekend we saw Shane Van Gisbergen and was it Jamie Whincup? And they were like, let Shane pass.
And Jamie was like, no.
He's like, why? There's only like,
3 laps to go.
3 laps to go.
Yeah.
And he didn't let him pass.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Yeah, no.
That would be quite cool to see potentially.
In esports, and it's probably something that hasn't really proliferated project cars as such, but in esports you do have big teams. I believe Madzi, Kyle Madden is part of THR. I think THR is an esports team, so they have their own team, sort of like a little syndicate where they race and you go and race in like, I don't know, a big event, right? And you enter your team, so...
Look, a little battle going on here. He didn't get the block now. Pinkman takes a little cut on the inside, gets the deal done finally. Sends it north of Northway, does the job, and puts himself in 7th position. Now he's on to Pinkman. Now he's on to Monkey Matt in front of him. Oh, gets a bit loose there.
Bit loosey-goosey there. That's a bit uncommon for the old Ferrari 488 GT3 because that's got traction control and it shouldn't be doing that. So, still, Pluck, 7 seconds in the lead with Madden in P2 and Shields a distant P3 there. Simon Bishop's actually not doing too bad. He's only a second away from Shields there. So can Simon Bishop put in a belter and topple the king? Did you like that? That was a chess pun.
Oh, I did. Oh, yes, well, don't play chess, but well done. 10 points for you, young man.
He's right up in the slipstream there under the rear wing of Shields, who's going to be doing as best as he can to put up the defenders. But there's also another car in front of them. I wonder, is that Northway? Okay. No, because he's 32 seconds behind. We don't have a lap count, unfortunately. That might be George Starr or Alistair Cooper's.
Definitely is not Kyle Madden driving out there, right? Here we go, takes a look at the inside.
See, this is really good for Bishop now because that car has just balked him in front. They go into the chicane. Will he open the door to let Bishop by? Oh, he makes the life difficult for Bishop. That's going to allow Shields to get away a little bit. Lap car actually looks like it was about to block there. Bishop makes it into the corner, but that margin stays steady.
Nice driving by Bishop, though, just to get him around. And it's something that the drivers were saying a bit earlier as we see someone else flying off the track there.
Far out.
What is going on?
Wild.
That's an epic camera position right there.
Yep, cameraman.
Nice close-up.
Having a few too many Coronas tonight.
Excuse me. All right, so we've got a cool little challenge here going on for 3rd and 4th position. Simon Bishop sitting there in 4th, and in 3rd position, Shields. And let's just hope Simon Bishop takes it out, which means it'll be a pluck. So New Zealand, Australia, New Zealand. Good stuff.
Well, Bishop's doing a good job here. He's only 2nd behind Shields. Shields he was the dominant force early on in this race, but for whatever reason, he started to fade late here at SPORTSLAND SUGO. We watched Robert Murphy's Law Northway still carrying a lot of damage to his car, trying to make some headway late in this race. Looks like, is that Pinkham ahead of him? So Pinkham's slowing on the front straight for some unknown reason. He's just decided to drop behind Northway. Northway is still running.
Northway's a man on a mission right now. Stuff's flying off.
Considering he's had 3 shunts, that's a pretty good effort to get up into P5.
So, okay, we're Oliver now coming behind Monkey Matt.
Very wide at the apex.
Battle going here. So right in front of them should be Pinkham and then Northway. So how did Northway, after all of that, get up to 5th position?
I don't know. It's bizarre.
You're meant to be the technical expert here. If you want technical expert, get on the velocity.
Three crashes. 3 crashes. How the heck do you have 3 crashes and end up P5? That's a fantastic effort from Robert Northway. So he's done a great job to get into the top 5 there. Simon Bishop, we hope, can mount an attack on Shields, but we're not watching that battle at the moment. It's Roy Oliver just putting a bit of pressure on Matt Smith, but hopefully we can get back to Bishop and Shields in a moment here. There we go, down the front straight. Bishop has got the toe. Can he send it down the inside and take the final step on the podium? He's got a car length up alongside. Who's going to be the last of the late breakers? Oh, gets a little bit loose on corner entry there, but Bishop manages to take the place away from Shields. And for the first time, I think, since Shields had his disconnect down at Ruapuna, he's off the podium. So fantastic effort here from Simon Bishop to get onto the podium. He has toppled the defences of Shields, who falls back down to P4. Northway is a distant P5, so it looks like unless anything goes awry for Shields, he will retain 4th in this race. Pluck still leading by a mammoth 7 seconds over Kyle Madden.
Lap 20 of 25, so either that or Shields just wanted to have a battle behind him and now wants to make it interesting for himself. So, you know, he's a good racer and there's no doubt that he could be, obviously, in the next 5 laps, have that challenge and come back, especially down the front straight, exactly like you just saw. What we've got going on, the boys of the Discord, everyone's very quiet, unfortunately, for motorised Kiwi. He got knocked out, which is Michael Robinson, and also ANZ got knocked out as well.
So Bishop now has managed to extend that gap over Shields in P4. He's probably got the best part of a 2.5 seconds now over the Aussie as they head into turn 1 here. 4 laps to go here at SPORTSLAND SUGO. Plenty of action in race 1 here tonight. Robert Northway with 3 shunts fairly early on in the race, but has managed to recover to P5. Not sure exactly how he's done that, but nevertheless, done a great job. But here we go. Here's the replay of Simon Bishop. You watch him, he goes down the inside into turn 1. You can just see he gets a little bit loose on corner entry as he's under brakes. Just see a little bit of a wiggle. Shields, well aware of it, goes a little bit wide of the corner exit there and using a bit of the AstroTurf on offer.
As you saw, though, in the Star Insurance replay there, Shields wasn't a dirty racer. He could have quite easily tried to come in and block or shunt or, you know, bump him, but gave him the spot.
Yep,
and,
bit of racing room.
Yeah, gave him some racing room. Now, he was allowed to, as he was coming down on the inside, block, so to speak, but not in a dangerous manner, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. You can cover once, but it can't be reactive, I guess. Like, if somebody moves to your right, you shouldn't be going with it at the same time.
On board, Daniel Shields definitely didn't get the proximity that we wanted to get the jump back on Simon Bishop. So, yeah, Simon Bishop still got a fast lap out there, 1:20.59. Still quite far behind the leader right now. Pluck sitting on a 1:20.79.
I'm really
8 seconds
surprised.
between first and second, and 19 seconds between first and third.
Surprised to see Shields be lapping consistently in the 120s, around that low to mid 120 there. But he was so fast in qualifying, but he's not been able to maintain that in the race. So a really odd setup there for Shields has somehow dropped off the face of the earth. But oh well, that's the way the cookie crumbles here at SPORTSLAND SUGO, unfortunately. Shields currently lying down in P4, having been on pole position, fallen off the podium after his one and only pit stop that he needed to make. It says pro on the back of that car, but this performance has been anything but, unfortunately for him. Pluck showing just how good he is tonight. He's my pick for race 2, but I should have picked him for race 1. Kyle Madden there sitting comfortably in P2. A mammoth 19 seconds behind with Bishop. Actually, no, sorry, Madden's 11 seconds behind. Bishop is 19 seconds behind. Shields at P4 there, Northway maintaining P5. So unless anything changes late in this race, I doubt we're going to see much more happen here. Looks like Pluck with 2 laps to go will come home with the win. Who was your picks for this race? Just remind me. Who was it?
Simon Bishop.
Simon Bishop. Well, he's definitely not winning.
Well, he's sitting in third.
And who was my pick?
Madden?
Madden. Well, he's P2, so I win.
So what
if we're going on the top,
Piers, wasn't it?
Yeah,
So
Piers.
in between the break. Matthew Pluck sitting out in third position. So whoever loses, straight arms a full thing of mammoth on the closing. Yeah? You're too busy on your little...
Yes.
The race was delightful chat.
Yes. I'm totally going to neck another mammoth like I did in the last episode.
Yeah. So
Straight arm.
No, straight arm. So if you lose, so my pick was Pluck and then Shields tonight.
Yeah.
And your pick was Madden and Pluck.
I have a feeling you're making that up.
Not at all. No way. So the loser...
Did you just change your picks like halfway through this discussion? With a lap to go, Matthew Pluck is leading this race, and all of a sudden you've picked Matthew Pluck from the outset.
Dude, I think you're suffering from something going on in your
And you've
mind.
just turned your
It's
piece
okay.
of paper over that has your picks on it.
So whoever loses, straight arm.
Straight arm.
As we leave. I think we're getting a lot of trouble from the studio directors, though, from putting mammoth all over it. But it would be an epic way to epic the...
Do you want ants? Because that's how you get ants, okay?
We'd have to do it on air, though. Yeah, all over your face. We could just do it together.
What if I've got good accuracy?
We're going to just leave it at that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 24 of 25, Matthew Pluck, Kyle Madden in second position, and my man, Simon Bishop, who was...
Your man?
Yeah, well, that's what I was banking for. It's saying Pluck, but clearly, it's called Twitch. If you guys are tuning in on Twitch, and we welcome everybody here on Sky Sport TV as well, this is the Project Cars 2 ANZ Championship. It's the final lap. Matthew Pluck, the Kiwi, dominating, being the doctor tonight, making a clinic. It hasn't been Rubbings racing, but at the same time, he has been the one out in front by 13 seconds.
Yeah, just one more lap to go here around SPORTSLAND SUGO. He's got Madden well in arrears. 13 seconds, that's a mammoth lead from Mr. Pluck. We follow Daniel Pinkham, well, we try to, but our cameraman is having other ideas here. Pinkham trying to mount one last attack on Robert Northway and try and send him down to the back here. Robert Northway sort of, I guess, racing for sheep stations in some ways. Pinkham will want to take this position away, knowing that Northway has got
Did
no...
you just say racing the sheep stations?
Yes.
Is that a monopoly term from New Zealand?
Possibly. Oh, it looks like Northway's decided to come into the pit, so perhaps knowing that he's not going to get any real valuable points today, has decided that he's going to pit. So
Why would he
unless we'd missed his pit stop, I don't think so. But
has he not pitted yet?
oh, if he's up as high as 5th, you'd have to wonder. But anyway, it's just one of those things. Anyway, Matthew Pluck comes through the final corner here at SPORTSLAND SUGO, the final leg on the Japanese triple header. One of my personal favourite tracks of this series. He's going to come up the front straight here and claim victory in race 1 of the night here. Matthew Pluck, neither of our picks for this first race, but I'm going to back him again for race 2. Kyle Madden will come home in a comfortable P2 there, and Simon Bishop, no doubt, will pick up P3. So, great result here for Madden. What's that, a Kiwi 1-3?
Yeah, will that mean that potentially Kyle Madden jumps up in that championship later to, that pointy end as
Yeah,
well?
possibly. Shields, obviously, he's our leader at the moment, but he was only P4 in that race. So we have to see how that shakes out in this championship. The top 3 were only covered by 20 points between first to third. So this is the final battle here that we're focusing on. Daniel Pinkham versus Roy Oliver. Looks like Oliver is trying to make a pass here.
Good little side-by-side over the finish. Photo finish, ladies and gentlemen. How cool was that? It was Pinkman in the end. Well, that gives us something to talk about.
Shoulder.
Was it Pinkman? Yes, it was. Pinkman, followed by Oliver, followed by Hunter. Monkey Man in 8th position. Northway in 9th position. So, yes, that was his pit that we saw, unfortunately. Robert Northway, excuse me, again. 23 seconds to finish out the race, ladies and gentlemen. 25 laps. Now, I did think the proximity would have been a bit more with that close proximity and the tighter track. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, rounding it out. It is round 5 of the championship, race 1 Sugo. And it's the 488 GT3 Matthew Pluck taking up first position for the Australians. Oh, sorry, for the Kiwis, I should say. Looking at Kyle Madden just then. We've got Kyle Madden taking out 2nd position, and New Zealand Simon Bishop taking out 3rd.
Daniel Shields was our championship leader coming into this race, but has finished only P4 here at SPORTSLAND SUGO. Not sure where that sort of puts him in the championship standings now. 25 points adrift of Matthew Pluck there, having been our pole sitter. Daniel Pinkham picks up P5. Roy Oliver, Monkey Matt Smith, Sam Hunter, Robert Murphyslaw Northway, and Benjamin Crowe round out the top 10. Robert Northway, after that final pit stop, finishing P9 there. So perhaps didn't take his pit stop when we thought he might have. But yeah, he's rounded out the top 10 basically there. Damien Main, Shane T. Ming, Alistair Coopers, and George Starr, and a couple of non-finishers in Motorised Kiwi and one of the others. So unfortunate for them to not finish this race, but that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, computer technologies. But hey, the really cool thing though is they will be back very shortly to race again. They'll jump straight back on in. And a Kiwi took out 1st position, which is what we want to see here in Project Cars, even though it's an ANZ championship. Don't forget to get on our Facebook page right now. During the advert break, we'll be back with you shortly. Bye for now.
The Star Insurance Project Cars 2 ANZ Championship is proudly brought to you in association with Mammoth. Crush any task.
Like us, you're passionate about cars. At Star Insurance Specialist, we create custom policies for Kiwis with exceptional vehicles. If you own a vintage, classic, performance, project or prestige car, your needs don't fit neatly into a box. We think special and unique cars deserve special and unique insurance. We don't let robots determine policy or price. Get on the road with a custom policy from Star Insurance Specialists. Go to starinsure.co.nz today.
Need a ride? Thanks to All Out and Let's Play Live, we are hooking you up. Simply download the All Out app and type in the code Let's Ride to get your first ride free. T's and C's apply.
War is upon us.
They might have found another kill. Carly out of position.
And there will be no dialogue.
He's just beyond godlike. The words speak for themselves.
Show no mercy.
It's gonna be a wash as everyone was either dead or retreating.
And be relentless. Enlist for war.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's right, it's all about Ola. Download the app. It's pretty epic. They're giving you $20 off your first ride. So it's just let's ride. Simple as that. Download the app. And it's the same cars, the same drivers, but it's cheaper fares. So hook that up, and that's anywhere New Zealand wide. And they've also got other specials coming to us this week and introducing themselves to the New Zealand market as well. My name's Brendan White. If you're just joining us, it's Project Cars. It's the Australian New Zealand Championship 2, round 5. And we've just had race 1, and although it was a Kiwi out front, it was a pretty race.
It was okay, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
There was a bit of action. Robert Northway decided to stack it 3 times.
Yep, we're
unfortunate
relying on Northway again, I think.
Not good.
No, so that's a big topic, I guess. Point is why strippers points?
I suppose because he's no longer in the competition now, realistically. So the guy who. He was in the top 8, right? Yep. So now the guy who's sitting in 9th is like, oh, what the heck am I going to do? You know, like, why don't I get to go through? So the competition was like, well, you know, Northway's not going to be able to compete in it, so stuff you, out you go, 0 points, down to the back of the order, and the guy who was in P9 now gets to go up into P8. So that's the way it goes.
Now, I guess outside of that, were there any other standouts? We're going to have a look at the track conditions as we talk about standouts in that race. Now, Matthew Pluck, he was plucking gears, he was disappearing. You know, he was right up the front there. The weather's changed. Is this still the same track, though, Simon?
Yep.
And what points of this track were really the movements happening?
Well, we saw down at the final corner there, a bit of drama, obviously, with Robert Northway having that little spin. Turn 1 proved to be pretty tight. Guys trying to mount charges down there, getting positions down. The front straight was really good for overtaking, so keep an eye on that as the race progresses. But as you can see, it's a lot darker now. The sun is setting here at SPORTSLAND SUGO. We've got a twilight race here for the final race of the weekend. And speaking of twilight, shout out to Richard Gee and Wilson. Go to bed, Wilson. It's getting late. This race is about to get underway, but it should be a good one.
I didn't know we were allowed to do personal shout-outs.
You want to do a shout-out? Hi to Mum
I'll
and
do
Dad?
a shout-out. Mother's Day coming up. So for all the mums that are letting all the gamers actually practice for this race, big shout-out to you. 20, 30 hours is a solid amount of time to let your husband, man, or your man-child, whichever you want to call him, spend time in the simulators. So, hey, it's Mother's Day. So if you're listening and you're a guy, take her out for breakfast. You know, Saturdays for the boys, Sundays for mum. This Sunday, don't forget Mother's Day. Even better, bring her along to SkyCITY and enjoy some of the amazing restaurants down here. Check it out, take her up Sky Tower. The long, big, pointy thing that you guys often see driving around Auckland. Not the thing. Actually, I'm not even going to go there.
I was going to say,
Week 5, 25. 25 laps, and we are qualifying again. Who's going to benchmark the fastest times? Well, my money's on Shields this one, and my money is on Pluck to win the race. And if I win, you have to do a straight up.
Hang on.
Mount Mammoth.
My call was Pluck for this race,
No,
I think you'll
wasn't.
find.
No, it wasn't.
And I think you'll find that you had someone entirely different for this race, but I can't seem to get into your notes because they're
that's because you're lying.
What have you got?
Right, so if you guys are online, or if you're just joining us actually on Sky TV, welcome to the pop-up channel. This is Project Cars. Now it's a esport, and we haven't talked a lot this round about esport, but just to give you a full-on basically gaming. It's huge globally now. Guys like Brendan Hartley, he's actually got a contract where he drives in the sim while Ferrari is racing in Formula 1. So lots of Formula 1 teams, lots of racing teams actually have their own simulators and their own simulator drivers. So you can actually drive a sim. You might not have ever driven a car before, as we see Daniel Shields go back into the pits there. He wasn't doing a nice little lap on that one, as Roy Oliver gets sideways like D1NZ. So you can actually make money and make a living off this. So if you're at home and you're a dad and you're telling your kids off for watching this and you're sitting down with them, wow, this can actually turn into real motorsport. So encourage it. Don't let them do it all the time, because at the same time, I want to see you out at the tracks in New Zealand. This is the gospel time. This is my self-promotion. There's something on this weekend, North Island Endurance Series, Pukekohe. Go see that. But I'm not going to get on a bit of a rant like I did last week. All I'm going to say is, guys, we need you at the racetracks. We need you to go get your race cars or your $2,000 2K Cup car or your drift car, whatever it is, and just go out there and have some fun at the racetracks. It's all good to do the sim racing, but at the same time, we need you at the tracks. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to put tracks on for you in the future. Hey, Simon.
And there's nothing quite like seeing a Ferrari impersonator screaming down the front straight at Pukekohe over those bumps at like 300 k's.
Well, they don't go that fast. They go to like 220, 230, don't they?
Bit of hyperbole, never hurt anyone.
Yeah. What's it called? When you're marketing something, but you're like intentionally like
Journalism?
Fluffing. Well, according to the New Zealand Herald, they now want you to pay for that. But that's okay, you know. End of the day is, if it's good content, why not pay for it? So, bit of a look on the scoreboard on the left-hand side there. Shields 118, very, very similar to the first qualifying, but massive disparity between this and the races. Who's your pick? Twitch
bizarre.
people?
But odd, Shields has already done a 118.240, which is not too far off. What's that? Maybe 7/10 off world record pace, which is pretty good considering, you know, these are New Zealand's and Australia's best drivers in the championship. Shields, 118.240, 6/10 ahead of Pluck.
That was actually from a Japanese driver, Rinpoku, who said it in the 480 GT3. So you should Google, since you're always on your phone over there, mate, Google to see if he's actually a racer that races in Sugo himself. Japan's got some amazing tracks. You've actually done a trip to Japan, haven't you, yourself?
Yeah,
seen that big mountain?
I didn't get to go to Fuji. You would have saw last week we had Sakido Circuit. Now I went to the real life version of that, which is called Suzuka Circuit.
Yep.
And also went to Twin Rig Motegi, and those two circuits are insane.
Going to cut you off. If you want to go to a circuit, here's your self-promotion for £1,000. Brought to you by Star Insurance Specialists. Drive your own Huracan. That's all right. Get on our Facebook page. If you're on Twitch, there's lots of you. So I want to see lots of entry. Let's Play Live HQ. And you can drive your own Huracan as someone just flies off the track there. I hope
that's
you can
a big
see
send.
That's a big send. You can drive the, what is it? The go-karts.
The go-karts.
You get your flights, your accommodation paid for. You get to come stay with me in the presidential suite here at Sky City. We're going to put you up. See if they actually honour that.
Me?
No, me.
Oh,
we can all be there. It's going to be a party. So there you go. There's the details there. And Let's Play Live's HQ Dan is shouting all the best. So, Shields out in front right now. Pluck and Monkey Matt. But New Zealand Simon Bitcher a bit further down in qualifying. Now, remember what Northway said. He said he's going to qualify at the back and he's going to send it. But for some reason, he's sitting up in fifth position.
He actually messaged me.
Yes?
He messaged me and he said, I'm just going to say, forget my no quali after that race. I will try and have a fun last one. So obviously he's having a little bit of a fun swan song to the series and decided swan song. A swan song.
I do not. Yeah.
A swan song. You know, like the bird.
Yes.
A swan song. It's like your last laugh, sort of thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah, a swan song. So he's going to have an actual go and has decided to qualify P5. Fantastic effort from him already. But if you're watching on the chat, you're on the old Twitch, the twitch.tv. Brian and I have been to a fair few tracks. We've got our own favourites. What's your favourite circuit? Let us know. Tell us what it is and why. Give you a wee shout out on the broadcast tonight.
International or are we talking just New Zealand?
Literally
let's
any
go to
circuit.
New Zealand first.
Any?
Nah.
Any?
Well, I've only been in New Zealand, so I haven't.
You've been to World Time Attack?
Yeah.
Do you like Sydney Municipal Park?
A few different circuits around the world, and I have to say, as an impressive, I guess. What's going on here? Murphy's Law. Yeah. He's going to just wait for someone. Circuit of Americas, Texas. That's an amazing circuit.
Do you know the irony about that? That circuit was built on the premise of
Formula One.
No, of basically getting a whole bunch of other circuits and putting it together.
Right.
So that little wiggly section after the uphill turn one, that's based on Silverstone, the Maggots and Beckett section.
Right.
Where you go left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, and then there's the triple apex right-hander, which is an inverted version of the triple apex left-hander at the Turkish Grand Prix circuit.
You're just a book of knowledge, aren't you,
How good. Cool
See,
circuit.
So you're a lady out there and you want a book of knowledge. Simon at Velocity. This is not
Are you
Tinder,
doxing
but at the
me?
same time, yeah.
You're just doxing me on national TV.
Trying to get you out. Out of your box, mate.
So some comments coming through on the chat. So we got a few ones coming in. Benny is a lad says his favourite circuit is Mount Panorama, as does Tinkenstein. Catalunya says Prenz 1327, and Zero Saiyan says Manfield.
Yes.
Been racing there for a bit, hard to get used to, but you learn so much there. I have to agree.
No.
Lots of camber.
What do you mean, what to get? Okay, before we even do that, for everyone tuning in on Sky TV, you're probably wondering what are we talking about? You can actually download Twitch. It's an app on your Android or your Google phone, and then you just look up Let's Play Live, and you can actually join the chat for Project Cars Project Cars 2 ANZ Championship. So that's what Simon is actually looking at right now as we're in qualifying. 22 seconds to go, ladies and gentlemen, and it's all about Shields and Pluck again. My money was on Pluck and Shields, so looks like Simon will be going straight up.
Stop changing your bets.
Straight up.
Stop changing your bets. I've got bets on Pluck to win this race, but Shields is beating me at the moment, unfortunately. Monkey Man, Matt Smith.
I'm just going to go straight to the bottom. Let's bank on Pinkham.
Well, he hasn't even said lap time, so...
Okay, let's not bank on.
What are you going to do?
Okay.
Madden, P4. Simon Bishop, P5.
I'll stick with my original one. Robert Northway.
Northway's down a P6, mate. That's not very
fine.
good.
That's fine. You know, he's getting his head in the game. He's qualifying a bit slower, but that's fine. Race is complete for qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. Matthew Pluck sitting in second position. Will he be able to beat Daniel Shields as we sit on board with him now? Fifth gear, 238 kilometres per hour. No, not quite. 118.240 by Matthew Shields. 118.849 by Matthew Pluck. So,
alrighty.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. 58 seconds for everybody else to finish their qualifying. It is Sugo SPORTSLAND, 25 laps in Japan. It's coming into the evening. This is the second race of the championship now. It is this championship all is about the grand finale here at Sky City Theatre. Now, if you guys want to come along, it's cheap on the door. I think it's about $10. Don't quote me on it because I get in trouble every time that I say the wrong amount. But if you want to come along, make a night of it, get involved, and it's in the Sky City Theatre, and me and Simon are going to be roaming around with the microphones, and we'll put you on Sky TV potentially too.
Are we?
Yeah. That's what we're doing right now, mate. We're live on Sky TV. You do realise that, right? So here we go. Qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to Barkers. Daniel Shields sitting in first position. Matthew Pluck sitting in second position. And Monkey Matt sitting in third. So we've got one Australian there. And Madsy, Kyle Madden, fourth position for qualifying.
Simon Bishop rounds out the top 5. My boy, great name. Daniel Pinkham down in P6. Robert Murphy's-Law Northway decided, nah, I'm not going to start from the back. He's starting from P7. Roy Oliver, P8. Alistair Keepers, P9. Motorised Kiwi. Michael Robinson down in P10. But Sam Hunter is only 11th. George Star, P12. Damien Main in 13th. Benjamin Crow, P14. Dave Roberts and Shady Ming rounding out the top 16.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we go straight to the grid and we'll have a look at the grid from the qualifying orders. So if you qualify high, it means you get to be first on the grid, and that's what you see right now. Daniel Shields on the left-hand side of your screen, and on the right-hand side of your screen in the yellow 488 is Matthew Pluck. And then you've got third and fourth position, Monkey Mac on Matt, I should say, on your third-hand side. It's third-hand. I am really doing good on this
Slow down,
side of the
slow
screen.
down.
But I want to be a race commentator. And you go further down the grid, Simon Bishop and Robert Northway. And we switch down further down the grid again. Simon, you can take this one.
No, I think you can carry on, actually. Sorry, that's Simon Bishop that we're looking at the moment. Robert Northway alongside him. Daniel Pinkham in P7. Roy Oliver in P8. Alistair Coopers in P9. But it looks like we maybe have one car that hasn't quite made the grid. Unfortunately, Sam Hunter will be behind him. George Star, Damien Main in P12. So it's motorised Kiwi Michael Robinson who's failed to make the grid again. So unfortunately, he's disconnected back to back. So he was sitting down the back end of the top 8. So that's an unfortunate 0-0 for him. A bit like drifting, just a 0 for not competing basically. So we watch the start here. Matthew Pluck sitting down in P2. Shields is your man on pole position. Who will get the jump and lead us into turn 1 as they go 4 wide behind on the front straight. Daniel Shields and Matthew Pluck side by side into turn 1. Who's going to get it? They still go door to door into turn 2. Shields is holding his own, but Pluck is putting in a mammoth effort to try and get the lead away, but it looks like Shields has just got the advantage as they head into turn 4 here. Turn 5 and turn 6 are pretty tight. You'll go line astern, single file through the chicane here. Robert Murphy's-Law Northway, he's made a great start to get up into P3. And Matthew Pluck sitting comfortably there in P2, just behind Shields. He'll be looking to execute another perfect pit stop to try and get another win here tonight. Kyle Madden sits down there in P4 with Pinkham in P5. So not too much drama off the start like we had in race 1 there. Northway's made a good start to get up into P3, but here we go. Here's a battle between Pinkham and Matt Smith, it looks like, banging doors as they head down into the hairpin. This is turn 8. Pinkham gets the position. Matt Smith looks like he has to slot in behind, with Simon Bishop not far behind him. Bishop was a podium getter in the first race tonight. He'll be looking to make some headway early on in this race.
Great start to the race there versus race 1. Some nice tight-knit racing. Shields and Pluck sitting out there in first, second. But Robert Northway, good to see the man that I've betted on there. Someone takes an early dive into the pits there. Not quite sure who it was. They're going to try to get the undercut. Did my eyes actually didn't escape me. Matthew Pluck sitting there right behind Shields. Not a big gap. Madden goes into the pits. He tries to get the undercut going in. Shields already has a 0.7 of a second lead here. We go to the pits. There you go, Kyle Madden. That's a big undercut move for Kyle Madden, the Australian, trying to get the jump, and maybe took way too long out there. Way too long in the pits, I should say. Robert Murphy's Law now sitting in third position. They're gapped out a bit now, Simon.
Yeah, Roy Oliver, it looked like, was actually passing Madden in the pit lane there. So Madden, maybe by mistake, has decided to take tyres and fuel. You only need to take one or the other. Generally, the rule of thumb is you should probably take fuel, just a little bit, a splash and dash essentially, just to get your compulsory pit stop out of the way. But Madden, unfortunately, he's dropped well back of the lead, so he is some 26 seconds behind our race leader Shields at the moment. Shields holding a 9/10 advantage over Pluck there in P2. Northway holding station in P3, a distant P3 at that. We go behind him into the final corner here. This is where he had that mistake in the first race. The second of 3 crashes for him, unfortunately. Pinkham not too far behind in second. It looks like maybe Northway was heading for the pits there. He feigned right. We'll see if he comes in. I can see a car going in, and Simon Bishop, he's also decided to get out of the dirty air, out of the traffic, and head into the pit lane. So Northway and Simon Bishop, they head in to the lane. I don't see anyone else coming in at this stage. Hopefully cut back to them and see how long their pit stops take. So Northway comes out of the pit lane. That looks like a relatively quick stop because we only just saw him coming in and he's already managed to come out. So Bishop is still in the pit lane and Northway is on his way out. So maybe Northway not taking too much in the way of fuel or tyres.
Dropped down to 12th position on that one though.
Yeah, not too bad though because he's ahead of everyone else. So Bishop actually comes out behind Roy Oliver and Kyle Madden. Northway's only 19 seconds behind Shields after that pit stop. So that's not a bad margin for Northway. So your prediction potentially could come true.
Straight arms with the mammoth. Simon Chapman right here live on Sky TV. If that's not a product endorsement, what is? All right, so Matthew Pluck though still sitting there trying to battle with Shields, and end of the day though, you did you say Pluck or Shields for this race? I wrote it down.
I said Pluck. I said Pluck. I never chose Shields. I don't back in Australia.
Oh, gosh.
Truth though.
Yeah, Shields has a mark against his name, so you might just get your way with that, Simon. Shields, red on the left-hand side. Does that mean he's been penalised?
I'm not sure. I do not know. We still haven't been told that.
Right, well,
Week 5 of 7.
Yeah, Shields. A bit closer now. Pluck closing the proximity, 0.5 of a second. It did extend out.
Somebody in the comments has said that Northway has a drive-through penalty. I don't know if that's correct, but that would make some sense that his pit stop was so fast. We'll keep an eye on Northway, so your prediction for this race too might go a little bit astray if that's the case. He sits down in P11 at the moment of the 15 competitors. Unfortunately, Michael Robinson has disconnected twice.
I was just looking at that. His game crashed again, and he's absolutely gutted. So unfortunate for Michael Robinson, who will be tuning in on Twitch, mate. Unfortunate for you, definitely in the championship race as well from such a star player. So he's just hanging out. So join him if you're on Twitch right now. Ask him any questions. Keep them PC though. However, if you want to ask Simon any questions, our man Simon Chapman here. Velocity News. Okay, Monkey Mac now takes his pit, sitting in 4th position. Simon Bishop just coming out of pit. He's sitting in 14th position as Robert Northway comes a bit high. Someone just absolutely takes the pits astronomically the wrong way.
That is not how you come into the pit lane.
Was that Simon Bishop?
I don't know. No, I think that was Hunter.
Look at his car.
Oh my God. Sam Hunter, he's decided to go full send into the wall as he comes into the pit lane. That was a bit of an odd one there.
Wonder if we can get a replay on that.
That was bizarre. Real bizarre.
No, you cannot have a replay on that in my ear. That's fine. Thank you, Dan. Pluck still sitting in second position. Pink, that's really... Oh, he hasn't obviously taken his pit. I was about to say Pink in third position.
Yeah, but he's 9
Cooper's in
seconds
12th.
back. 9 seconds adrift with these two in the lead. Someone's suggesting that Shields might actually have a 2-second penalty. We'll try and get that confirmed. So that could hand Pluck a handy advantage here. It'll put him a front effectively on aggregate ahead of Shields. So we wait and see how that all plays out. I will also keep an eye on Northway, who's now down in P7. Still don't know whether he was actually serving a penalty or actually doing his first pit stop there, because we didn't get to, unfortunately, see him complete a stop. We only saw him come in and come out. So see the sun setting here at Sportsland Sugo.
Well, he's out of the pit now, so should be right. Rory Oliver's obviously got a mark against his name as well. So that can be from anything from crashing the corner, jumping the corner, smashing into another driver, anything that I guess the judicials will deem as a misdemeanor.
Yeah, generally it's something like jumping the start or going wide on a corner and gaining an advantage, cutting a corner, that sort of thing.
Right.
Project Cars has its own way of basically handing out penalties. It'll hand them in-game, post-race, or during the pit stops.
All right, we have a look at Northway to see how he is going now, sitting behind Main in 5th position. So gapped out, but still not massive gaps between these guys, 16, 19, 20, 21, 22, 26. However, a bit of a gap between first and second. Obviously, Shields and Pluck still haven't done their pits, and that's going to be the question when they come into the pits. How are they going to do? Will they be able to get the jump? And if they do, will they obviously remain in front of the field?
Here's the thought.
Uh-oh.
Robert Northway had an absolute blinder of a start, and we saw him get up into P3.
We saw that. Big jump on the right-hand side or left-hand side of the
And he started 6th or 7th?
7th.
I reckon he might have got a jump start penalty.
Robert Northway hasn't got a penalty on it right now, though.
No, because he served it. He served it already. He came into the pits at the very start of the race. Bit like what he had to do at Juhai.
So does he have to do another pit?
I would suggest that yes, he does. So your chances of doing...
as he looks now down the inside.
I think you're going to have to be doing a straight arm.
No, I'm good. And he gets it over Main. Maybe. We'll do it on stage at the final.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, me and you both.
Got any, like, not...
Don't want to put it in this...
Oh, wait, we get given shirts,
this beautiful studio.
We get given shirts. I reckon we should do it.
I'm really excited about giving a shirt.
Yeah, because then I don't have to ruin my own shirt.
Oh, right. I don't think we're getting a shirt.
Well, they asked us for our T-shirt size the other week, so that makes some sense.
Just want to know how big you are, mate.
Why would they want to know that?
Like I said, you're a single, good-looking young man, mate. Anyway, we're getting off topic here, buddy. Georgestar now having a look on the outside is that Georgestar and Monkey Matt. So a bit of a battle going on further down the field there in 9, 10, and 11th position. New Zealand Simon Bishop.
Oh, he's gone. He's off. He's on the grass. But I think he actually managed to recover that. That was a great recovery from Georgestar. He's decided to switch his lights off though, but that might just be from him having shunts. He's got Simon Bishop on his door.
Incognito.
Bishop
Google
trying
Chrome.
to sweep around the outside. You know a lot about Incognito, that's for sure. Georgestar unfortunately drops down to P12 there. Simon Bishop on the cusp of the top 10 with Matt Smith.
Yeah, I don't do anything bad on the internet. You use the dark web for that.
What's that?
It's like something like Discord.
Is that what you use at night time? The dark web?
Okay, mate, you're getting really off topic now.
What do you mean? You started it.
Yeah. The dark internet. There's a whole nother internet outside Google Chrome and the internet.
Do they do esports on the darknet?
They talk about esport on the darknet.
Okay.
Yes. Shields, Pluck, Cooper's not doing too bad. Robert Northway now up there, but 22 seconds behind. But do we remember that Shields and Pluck have not pitted, and looks like Shields got a bit of a misdemeanor slap on the hands as well.
Yeah, a bit odd. I wish we knew what that red sign meant, but if it is a 2-second penalty, then Shields has done enough to get Pluck. Yeah, a bit of an odd one, eh? Real odd one. So Shields currently leading on lap 8 here. Still needs to make his solitary pit stop here at Sportsland Sugo. Keeping an eye on the chat. If you've got any questions for us, get on it, twitch.tv, and then on the search, look up letsplay.live, and you can come have a yarn.
Were we just talking about Twitch just then?
Yes.
I was reading Twitch, sorry, as you were saying.
I was just saying you should get on Twitch.
All right.
and ask us some questions.
Well, you were on Twitch. I'm on the driver's Discord. Just to
Oh,
see
sorry,
everyone has
not
it.
Let's, no dot on Let's Play Live. So that's the website. I think it's letsplay.live. But yeah, just search up Let's Play Live on
While we're talking about banter as well, ladies and gentlemen, if you do get on the Let's Play Live HQ Facebook page, everyone's on Facebook these days. If you're not, I guess you're missing out, or maybe not. Get onto that Facebook page and you can win a drive of the Huracan and drive. Oh, good look there from Robert Northway. Nice and aggressive look there from Northway. Nice move.
Sent it.
Takes a little look and he gets that over Coopers. And, you know, I'm not trying to disregard or I guess disrespect Coopers, but he hasn't been a strong contender in this championship. So nice aggressive move there from Northway. So he is sitting 24 seconds behind Shields and Pluck. But when they go in for their, what you call it, pit stop,
Yep.
have a little coffee, then he might get the jump.
Fun fact. Back in the day, so this pit stop here maybe takes you, what, 10 seconds, 15 seconds? The current day Formula 1 pit stop takes you maybe 2 seconds when you've got about 16 people all work on the car to take the tyres off, jack it up and put it back down on its tyres. A pit stop back in the day, when they first started doing pit stops, used to take about 5 minutes to take the wheels off. The guys would jump out, have a cup of tea, have a debrief, then jump back in the car and keep going.
It's like at D1NZ, right? So in between your battles, you've got your battles, so you have a battle against a lead and a chase and you go back and you change your tyres. Carl Thompson, he's got a coffee machine, an espresso machine and a NutriBullet in his pit.
D1NZ's a bit different to 1961 Formula 1 that way.
Of course, yes. There's probably lots more money in 1960 Formula 1. But when he comes in, depending how he feels, he'll have a NutriBullet or an espresso.
What does he make?
Coffee, mate.
And his NutriBullet?
Oh, well, who knows what's
like
in there?
a
Probably
smoothie.
lots of protein and protein
smoothie.
powder. And,
yeah.
Anyway, totally off topic there, ladies and gentlemen. So I think it'd be cool to watch the pit stops at Bathurst, Mount Panorama. That's one to watch. Maybe we should have like a little wheel challenge at the grand final so you can change the wheel the fastest and all that gives them like a $50 ride or something. Yeah, easy. Would give it to them, but we don't get paid. We're here for the volunteering base because we love the sport. So it's all about, that maybe we could even arrange a SkyCITY night.
Are you just making up prizes as we go, even though we don't have any control over that?
The thing is, the people have spoken, the people have heard. Now, as much like I say when I'm commentating and drifting, it's just like, don't believe everything we say, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't clued on to that just yet, everything that you hear on TV or on Twitch or on the telly isn't real. It's called fiction and non-fiction, but that's okay.
This is real racing, though, isn't it?
This is real racing. These are real cars out on the track right now.
Real racing in a fictional world, which is based on reality. SPORTSLAND SUGO. Cool little circuit.
Now that's a mind bender.
Yeah. So we come under the bridge here to start another lap of this great Japanese circuit. The sun is setting on SPORTSLAND SUGO as it is on this broadcast tonight. We are on lap 11 of 25, so still a wee way to go here in this race. Shields and Pluck dominating the race as it stands. Those guys hold a massive lead. Northway managed to get back up into P3, but I sense that he still needs to make another pit stop with a penalty potentially at the start of this race.
Michael Robinson's just calling me out saying I should give away a drive of the of my GT86.
That thing has to go first before you can give away a drive.
Oh no, it goes, but every time I get in it, I break it.
You crash it, eh?
Maybe they can come for a ride with me. I've got no problem with that whatsoever. $180 on tyres, it's fine. All right, New Zealand, Simon Bishop out, currently in 5th position. Right behind him on your screen is Main and then Kyle Madden. Kyle Madden's usually had a stellar past 4 championship rounds, but not so much this round, so it's going to bump him down in the championship table a bit. But Simon Bishop, Northway, Pluck's going to be pushed right up there. Shields is almost potentially going to win the championship from this round. He's way out. Whether he'll be unstoppable from next round, I think we saw that last round with Jordan Penne when he came and he actually won it the round before the actual grand final. Can't remember, don't quote me. And if you are tuning in, Jordan Penne will be potentially joining us live in the commentary booth as well. That was our Project Cars 2 champion last year. He actually now lives with Josh Revel. They've got their own gaming room, like, simulator setup.
It's insane.
Yep.
Lots of money.
Lots of money.
That's probably what they spent all their money from last year, winning it on new sim gear.
It was like $100 grand or something, wasn't it?
100 grand?
Yeah.
Heck.
Yeah.
When did they do that?
Brendan White's House of Lies. So it is at that point though with gaming on a global scale, though, isn't it, Simon? Some of these ones that are filling out stadiums now, it's ridiculous. The final four built a stadium and they won like $100K each or something.
Yeah, it's the amount of money that's involved in esports racing is insane now. Perhaps not racing, but in NASCAR over in the States, 100 grand
That was,
for the
there was a
iRacing
race, what was it,
championship.
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
It's nuts.
One race, it was nowhere near the quality of this amazing LPL production that we see here. You know, there was no presenters, no studios, no nothing, and they chucked 100 grand. And you just bewilders you. But that's a testament to, I guess, how much involved on a global scale is. And the world is becoming globalised quite fast. So these guys can jump in and they can actually do a race at NASCAR. They can do a race over in Japan, just like that, through the different leagues.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of sim racing myself. Like I do a little bit at home. The joy of sim racing is that you can jump in a car that you like. Like let's say I like Jimmy Johnson, right? I can jump on iRacing or
Jimmy
Project
Jackson or
Cars.
Jimmy Johnson?
Jimmy Johnson.
All right.
Jump on iRacing or Project Cars 2 and jump in a NASCAR and get a feel of what a NASCAR is like to drive in real life without the G-forces and things, but in terms of the attitude of the car.
Yeah, exactly. Speed Nation, and they actually do have some.
Yeah, the SimWorks ones, I believe, they're made in New Zealand. Fantastic stuff, like with the load cell pedals and everything. It's like driving a real race car without the G-forces as such, but sim racing's the closest thing you can get to real life without actually spending the money to go and buy a NASCAR.
But in the same token, if you just enter our competition on our Facebook page, you can go drive a real Huracan.
Yeah.
At Hampton Downs. There you go. I don't know how many times I've said that, but Mike Marsden of Hampton Downs, we are making sure that we promote you and promote you well. Lovely though. It was pretty cool. It has been quite fun working with the team at Hampton Downs and going down and going go-karting and doing various things.
Sending people into the wall. I think I sent Northway into the wall once.
Oh, dude, he was dark. No, you sent him onto the tyres.
He already had a fractured rib.
No, you broke.
Nah, he already had a fractured rib.
He's online right now on Twitch.
He already had a fractured rib, and I just happened to cart him out wide. I didn't mean to do it.
I was winning.
But you didn't.
But I was winning.
But you didn't.
Until it rained.
And I finished second.
Slippery win.
So it's a bit like you and your who you put your bets on, eh? You just change the narrative.
See, there's a mute button. I can say whatever I want, you know. It's okay. Simon Bishop now having a little look on Monkey Matt. There's a bit of a little battle going on here. Shields, though, nowhere to be seen. 25 seconds ahead. He's got the gap, and we're still waiting for that pit. He knows he's got a penalty, and he's got a pit. So it'll just pin there as my clock pops up, my alarm. Time to go to bed. Not sure why it's saying that.
Michael Robinson reckons I'm the Van Gisbergen of the karting tracks. What does that say of Shane Van Gisbergen?
No.
Van Gisbergen's a great driver.
He's a legend. It's actually his birthday next weekend, by the way.
I thought it was today.
Is it today?
I think it's today.
Happy birthday to SVG.
If he's watching, I hope you're having a great time.
Yeah, well, he might be tuned in on Twitch, you know.
I know he was watching one of the New Zealand sim racing GT3 races last night.
He is an avid sim racer. So is Darren Kelly. So is Mad Mike. So is a lot of these top drivers. So don't believe that it's uncool to be in the sims, mate. A lot of these are cool people that we look up to of our idols. Get their, what's it called, their skill set, their mojo, their off-seat, out-of-seat time. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But yes, happy birthday to Shane Van Gisbergen. He's coming back 30, I think. 30th.
Oof.
Yes, his 30th. He's coming back to New Zealand next week, I think, after this weekend. Is he racing this weekend?
Well, he was supposed to be racing in Blancpain GT Asia with 888, but unfortunately that's not played out the way that they initially said it was. He's going to do some more Blancpain GT3 races in Asia at Suzuka and Korea, I think, later this year. But yeah, what's he doing in New Zealand next week?
It's Farm Bash.
Farm Bash.
Yes, I can't say because.
Oh, is that the South Auckland Demo Derby Club? Is that it?
We're not going to say any more.
He did a shout out on at Simmons Plains. That was mega right.
Yeah, it's coming up, and it's a bit of an invite-only thing, but.
Do I get an invite?
Well, I don't even get an invite, so you know, clearly I'm not in the Cool Kids Club, but that's fine. I'm not close to Shane, so that's fine as well. But in saying that, you know, happy birthday to him, and I've seen the Snapchats and the videos, and it looks like a full lot of fun. But on that note, how is he doing in the supercars at the moment with the Ford Mustangs just cheating all over?
If we're doing best of the rest ranks, he's winning the championship. Kiwis 1, 2, 3, obviously with Scotty Mack leading the way, Fabian Coulthard in P2, and Shane sitting comfortably down there in P3. So I think
stuff. That's awesome to hear.
I think this year for Shane's going to be interesting. He's got a chance to win the championship. He's going to have to pull off some absolute heroics if he does.
Yeah, just Jamie's got to take out the Mustang.
Well, yeah, just somebody send it into one of those muzzies. But yeah, I don't know. I think Shane.
It's a good mammoth.
Yeah, well, Shane's had a good run of form in the supercars in the last couple of years. He obviously won the championship, I believe, in 2016, 17 maybe, but hasn't won the Bathurst 1000. And I think that's probably going to be his big goal this year. Just do what he can to win that.
That year, one, it was the stall, then it was the spin on the final turn.
That's so hard to watch.
And then didn't he get cramp in it? Oh no, that was
Reynolds.
Reynolds, yeah. He's a bit of a girl, though,
The one where when he stalled the car in the pit lane, that was some of the hardest motorsport I've ever had to watch. Watching the guy get out of the car, just dejected, heads back to the garage. That was like Glenn Seaton when he crashed out.
Now, if you're just tuning in, we are live from Auckland's SkyCITY Sky Tower. Just a reminder, because it's a beautiful place we're in. We're in the Let's Play Live studios, and this is Project Cars 2, the ANZ Championship drivers from Australia and New Zealand right now racing in Sugo, Japan, of 16 laps, 25 laps in total. And so there's 9 laps to go, and they are all vying for a final place. The top 8, 16 races from across New Zealand and Australia, all vying for that final place to come to here in the SkyCITY Fair to battle it out in front of us, where we can talk more about them. And I'm getting given a lot of grief for Brendan White's House of Lies, but we are just generally in here volunteering our times to talk to you guys about what's going on here as New Zealand Simon Bishop has another look at Monkey Matt. Now, you guys can join us in the SkyCITY Theatre. We've talked about it a lot, but do come along and be involved, and then we can go hit the pokies after with the winners' winnings. And that's May the 23rd. It's coming up a couple weeks' time after Dubai next week.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. It's always a hoot there in the theatre. It does provide quite an amphitheatre. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but for the Sims being up on the stage.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll let us on stage this year.
I think they might.
They banned us to like a room.
Oh, got it.
last time, and let my FM people up there. I'm like, jeez.
Far out. All right, Shields.
And I get in my ear, that's exactly what's happening. You guys don't have a face for TV, so we don't get put on much.
Well, here we go. Simon Bishop, currently sitting down in P5 there. You look at that sky. Red at night, Shepherd's Delight. Looks like Shields is having an absolute barn burner at the moment, currently leading this race by 30 seconds ahead of Pluck. I don't think Shields has actually made his first pit stop yet.
I thought, didn't Northway already pit?
I told you this.
Oh, so you were right. Yes, but we were just seeing if we can class, if we can. I guess that one pit cancels it out and we had to pit again. So that bumps Northway all the way down, which means I'm up for a straight arm, but only if your man wins. Who did you bet on? Pluck. Bugger.
He's only P2 at the moment. I don't know why. Shields. Has Shields made his first pit stop? I don't think so.
I think the rest of the races should be raining.
Why?
And they should drift.
I reckon we should chuck them all in Mazda BT50s for the rest of the season.
I had a Mazda B200.
What was that like?
2000. It was rad. Yeah? Single cab, mate. Cut it up, airbagged it. Didn't like that. Chucked them out.
Oh, you were part of the lowrider phase of 2000, eh?
2000. Me and another guy, BK, actually owned the New Zealand Lowrider Mini Truck Nationals, and we did that at ASB Showgrounds with Foreign Rotary before it got sold to its current owner.
And what happened to our lowriders?
Oh, mate, they're still around. The New Zealand Lowrider community is still there. It's just you're engulfed in your own scene, so you don't actually see theirs.
I'd love to see some lowriders come back out.
Beautiful cars. So I was involved in that for a long time. Started a magazine called MVP.
Oh, yes.
That was epic. Yep. Did a couple of years of that nationwide. It was in all the mobiles,
what does that
VPs, if everyone remembers that. Most Valuable Players.
Oh, okay.
It was gold-plated by the editors, mate. They were friggin' loving it. Had a TV show on Sky, on Prime.
Mega.
Yeah, doing it. Did the TV show, and then D1NZ came along, and we gave it all up for the love of motorsport. All good, though. Yeah, flick a like up if you remember that. Not sure where did that trip from memory lane come? No idea.
Mazda BT200.
Mazda B2000.
2000.
Before that, we used to be. No, I shouldn't say that actually. The old
Corollas.
No, you know, the old, Auckland car scene. You would have been in nappies.
I probably wasn't even born.
At the same time, we're out there, Roscommon Road and all the various places. If you guys ever get the chance, this is hilarious. I'll put it up. I'll try to get someone to put it up. Go onto Simon's Facebook page.
Oh no!
And look at him as a kid standing in front of a Lamborghini. It's the most epic picture. It's like this little cheesy kid. Like the world has just
Stop doxing me on live television.
It's an amazing picture, and that's where the passion for Simon began. It was when he was like 5.
And you know where the passion continues? Hampton Downs.
Yes, that's right, where you ran me off the track. Lap 20 of 25. I am so sorry for our amazing talks as Daniel Shields fires the lights down the front straight as he comes to lap traffic. Fires it through. He is going to be trying to get that gap, and right now, he has a 29-second gap.
THR Tatey says early 2000s were the cringy era of the car scene. Do you remember like Honda Civics with like suicide doors?
Dude, before that I had a Starlet, just started GT. Yeah, I remember that. Candy colours, suicide doors, subs.
Gullwing doors on
Gullwing
things.
doors,
oh man. Oh, the scissor doors?
Daniel Shields doesn't go in again.
Yeah, he's got 5 laps until the end of the race,
Mate,
so he can
your mum and dad probably cruised the same time we did. You were probably conceived at Roscommon Road or something like that.
They both had Honda Civics, I can tell you that.
There we go. Back in the B3000.
Michael Robinson says, bring back the neons.
I had neons.
We're coming full circle, Brendan.
Yeah, like 21 or 25. Look, it was cool back then, and I thought I was cool. Anyway, 21 or 25. Shields still out there, still hasn't taken his pit. Pluck, trying to climb back those points, but 28 seconds, he gets 28 seconds down. Monkey Man and Simon Bishop. Ooh. This is the little battle that's going on right now for
I forgot we were racing
position.
there for a moment.
Yes, we are. 234 Ks down the front straight. Lap 22.
Come on, Bishop, just send it. Come on. You've got an opportunity here to be close-ish to the podium, but unfortunately, he's looking at the back end here of Monkey Matt Smith, who is currently holding the final position on the podium. Pluck, 30 seconds. 30 seconds behind Shields.
Yes, he's got to take his pit stop this time. Everyone telling us their bangers from 2000. Mine was P Money, DJ Severe, and Dr. Dre.
Scribe.
Yep, not many.
Big fan. Big fan of Scribe.
How many dudes? I shouldn't really try to freestyle on Sky TV.
One dude who is rolling like this is Simon Bishop. He's going to try and send it down the inside of Matt Smith, but really late move there. He's actually tapped him. Commentator's curse. I didn't actually think he was going to do it, but he tried. Maybe he was listening in and thought, you know what, Simon, I'm going to take your word and just try and send it down the inside of Matt Smith.
We could just say, flash your lights, Simon, if you're listening in. Flash your lights. No, he's not listening.
No, maybe he hasn't got a key assigned for that, or he's just in the zone. In the zone at the moment, looking behind Monkey Matt Smith. I got to say, Monkey Matt, he certainly ain't monkeying around at the moment. This is a man on a charge. What's that last lap he did after that incident? Yeah, 121.1 and then a 121.3.
Knockside gets flipped further down the field is what I see popping up. Someone just flipped him down the field, so it's unfortunate for him. Sitting down. Lots of penalties now. Roy Oliver's got penalty. George has got penalty. Pinkham's got penalty, and Shields has got a penalty. Simon Bishop's still having this little battle going on. Now, if you're just joining us on Sky TV, welcome. We're at lap 22, 3 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. This is race 2 of the championship round. 5 rounds so far, and we finish up. Next week we go to Dubai, and then we go to Mount Panorama.
Narrow it down to the top 8. Remember that. Oh, it looks like somebody's gone off. Who's that? Is that Northway? No, don't think so. Can't be.
No, Northway's sitting in 5th position currently.
We've just sent the entire Twitch chat into an early 2000s throwback. Everyone's talking about Day Harmo and Hot Fours and Rotaries and Fast and Furious. And P Money.
P Money.
Is that what you played in your low rollers, think, what they call them?
Low riders.
Low riders.
That was a bit later on in life.
When you moved into Honda Civics and Mazda RX-8s?
No, not RX-8s, mate. They weren't really a thing back then.
You know what they say, if it ain't a rotor, it ain't a motor.
Oh, Jesus. You actually just made my chest hurt with that pun. Oh, it's atrocious. All right, Simon Vicious is not getting the deal done, so we go back to Daniel Shields. This has got to be his pit right now. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Watch Pluck's time, 31 seconds. Let's just hope right now he hits the wall. Nope, he doesn't.
I reckon a pit stop takes about 26 or 27 seconds, so...
Right, let's time it.
Let's have a look. Let's see. How long is it going to take for Shields to cycle through the pit stop here? Pluck, 31, 30, 29. That margin is slowly coming down.
It just happens to be right at the end, eh?
Yeah,
Here we go.
I reckon Pluck's not going to get him, eh? Because here we go. Front tyres. Any fuel? Doesn't look like it. He's going to be on his way.
Go.
Where's Pluck? Where is Pluck? I think he's still well behind him. Shields slowly making his way out of the pit lane. Where is Pluck? Don't see any headlights. We'll look for the margin now. It says in minute 14, but that's not quite right. We'll look for it to readjust in a moment. 6 seconds. So Shields managed to build up enough of a margin there to maintain the lead with just over a lap to go here at SPORTSLAND SUGO. Pluck, there he is in the background of your shot there, coming through turn 5. 6 seconds off the lead with Matt Smith back there in P3 as well. 16 seconds off the lead, Simon Bishop and Robert Northway rounding out the top 5. Northway, I would have hoped that he might have tried to snuck onto the podium with that swan song performance, but
Shields just doing the old flick of the lights to tell whether it's George or Roy Oliver just to pop to the left-hand side of the track here. He means business, and he has been delivering a textbook run the whole time tonight. Daniel Shields delivers it. He does have a penalty though. Now it's how many
probably
seconds?
Only 2.
Hopefully it's 10. But if it's not, oh no, actually I hope it's only 2 because otherwise then I'm due for a straight arm.
I don't think any of us won this bet. I don't think either of us.
No,
won.
well, no one in Twitch did. Everyone's just talking about fast crew and P money in the 2000s, fast forwarding rotaries and so forth. D1NZ actually started in 2002, 2003. Done for the season now. Self-promotion quickly while we're on lap 25 of 25. Done for the season. If you want to catch all the seeders and information and what goes on for D1NZ in 2020. July's Speed Show is where you're going to be able to find all of that out. That's kind of like the SEMA of New Zealand. Speed Show, July is where we'll be featuring everything. Daniel Shields now on his last lap, the flying lap. If Daniel Shields is listening to us, flick your lights. None of them listen to us, eh? They're just so
I think they might actually be busy, watching the track. A bit dark. It's getting a bit dark out there, so
well,
the
the
concentration's
50,000
high.
plus people on Sky TV listening to us as listening. They're all actually listening to P Money because we put them in a reminiscence. Matthew Pluck 6 seconds behind Daniel Shields.
But here we go. Final corner here. It's the last lap at SPORTSLAND SUGO. Daniel Shields is going to round the final corner here, and he's going to take his first win of the night. Caps off the night here with a win. Was off the podium in race 1, but managed to get back on top in race 2. That's a great victory from him. Led from start to finish, executed a pit stop late in the piece, and takes that one home. Matthew Pluck finishes second. A great backup performance after he won race 1 of the evening. Matt Smith looks like he's going to bring home P3 here. Finish off the podium. Simon Bishop unable to challenge him at the last stage of this race. Great performance for Matt Smith, takes another podium in the series. Bishop in P4. Northway, his final race in the championship before he goes off to the Indianapolis 500. He finishes in P5 there.
Further on, oh, there you go. Textbook move. It's his signature move. Tries to always send it down the front straight. Robert Northway trying to Super 6 the front straight. Sitting out behind him. Kyle Madden nearly having a bit of a photo finish with him and Cooper's in 7th position. Daniel Pinkman in 8th position. Still got a penalty next to his name as well.
Well, that's the race here at SPORTSLAND SUGO. These guys just doing the cool-down lap here. We complete the Japanese leg tonight, and then we head to the penultimate round of the championship next week at Dubai Autodrome.
Something about Dubai that just makes everything just seem so much cooler, and then obviously to come back to Mount Panorama.
It's a shame that it's in the middle of the desert.
It is night in the middle of the desert, though.
It's colder, right?
I would assume so.
I'd hope so.
Yes.
It's pretty hot there, eh?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Here's the race results for SPORTSLAND SUGO, the last of the Japanese tour. Daniel Shields, the Australian, taking out first position. Matthew Pluck for New Zealand in second position. Monkey Matt sitting in third position. And your favourite New Zealand, Simon Vicious Simon, in fourth.
The man you picked for this race, Robert Murphy's-Law-Northway in P5 there. Cole Madden in P6. Disappointing for him. Alistair Cooper's down to P7. Daniel Pinkham picks up P8. And the first man a lap down. Looks like Benjamin Crowe in P9. Shanti Meng picks up P10. Dave Roberts in P11. Roy Oliver, Sam Hunter and George Starr complete the order. Motorised Kiwi unfortunately not able to make the start of that race, and one other missing the start as well. So, bit of drama.
Bit of drama, bit unfortunate for those guys that couldn't make it. And thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We've got some more information. We're going to look at the tournament and all of that sort of stuff straight after we have a little drink of Mammoth and maybe have a bit of an advert break, and we'll be back with you shortly.
The Star Insurance Project Cars 2 ANZ Championship is proudly brought to you in association with Playtech. Technology at play.
Like us, you're passionate about cars. At Star Insurance Specialist, we create custom policies for Kiwis with exceptional vehicles. If you own a vintage, classic, performance, project or prestige car, your needs don't fit neatly into a box. We think special and unique cars deserve special and unique insurance. We don't let robots determine policy or price. Get on the road with a custom policy from Star Insurance Specialists. Go to starinsure.co.nz today.
Need a ride? Thanks to Ola and Let's Play Live, we are hooking you up. Simply download the Ola app and type in the code Let's Ride to get your first ride free. T's and C's apply.
This is just clinical.
Do you have what it takes?
Tied up, they go for the 3 to win instead. Oh, yes!
To hoop against the best.
He's finding some points, he's finding some easy buckets.
Oh, ready!
We are on the search for the best bowlers across the country. Test your skill and see how you stack up against the strongest.
Karu green beans, and that is just crazy. All the way through.
Don't miss out on your chance to stand with the elite. Sign up now and let's play.live.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you book your spot in the finale, May the 23rd. That's right, live at SkyCITY Theatre. You can join myself, the beautiful Brendan White, and the good-looking young single man, Simon Chapman, for the 8 players that will go to war on stage at Mount Panorama, I should say, Bathurst. That's right, it's going back to where it all started, and you guys can be there with us to crown that champion. So, Simon, that's pretty interesting. Before we do that, we've got to go to Dubai next week. Night round, I hear. After tonight, who's your money on?
I don't know. I'm still keen for Pluck to do well.
Right.
You know, being a Kiwi, I think he's got a good chance. Always go for the Kiwis.
Always go for the Kiwis. Well, Daniel Shields, he has been probably the doctor of the house tonight. Yep. And let's have a look. Let's have a look at who's actually standing out in the front of the championship. Well, weekly results, SPORTSLAND SUGO.
Wow, wait, look at that. Matthew Pluck, 380 points. Booyah. Daniel Shields, even with that win and P4, was still second. So only, maybe 28 points behind Matthew Pluck there for the lead. Simon Bishop brings up P3 there, so a good result for him. Kyle Madden brings up P4 with that 2nd and 6th place. Monkey Matt, 7th and 3rd to get 280 points. BMW Dan 3. Robert Murphy's Law Northway up in 7th there. Roy Oliver in P8. Now, the big one, P16.
Yeah, really unfortunate for the motorised Kiwi. Look, it's not something that you want to see. What do you say?
I'm interested to see how it figures in terms of his championship standing, because he was the guy on the bubble down in P8 there. So Roy Oliver has done a really good job there to get up into P8. Rotax Howler, that's a really good result for him to be P11, especially considering how bad Michael Robinson ended up. So here we go. Here are your championship standings after round 5 of 7 again. Wow, okay, so Pluck has moved up into the lead of the championship by 12 points. Kyle Madden has dropped down into P3 with 76 points adrift of the lead. Monkey Matt Smith goes into P4 and Simon Bishop picks up P5. Motorised Kiwi has fallen all the way down to P11 with that double DNF, so he only picks up 80 points for the week. Dave Stone's moved up a place and BMW Dan 3 is on the bubble there in P8. So Rotax Howler is only, 20 points adrift of BMW Dan. Next weekend is crucial for him, so we'll have to keep an eye on how he goes.
Yeah, well, it's all game on in Dubai next weekend. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. That's the big one. Monkey Matt, the 228 points. He can still do it. He's got to have a stellar next couple of races. But really, what you're going to look at is 8, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those guys are all they're in the threshold that they could be out.
Well, look at Rosex Heller and Benny. There's only 4 points between those two guys, and then to BMW Dan, there's only 20 points to them. So that bubble, it's pretty tight at the moment, and next week you've only got 2 races to put together a strong result and get those points to get you into the final. So it's make or break. I'd be interested to know in terms of when we get to the final whether it's a winner takes all setup in terms of the winner across the 2 races gets it, or whether points are going to play into it as well. So I don't know whether we're just going to cut all the points off for the final and say, when the races combine points for that, gets the championship, who knows? We'll have to see what happens.
Well, proximity is key, and right now the door is wide open from 1 to 5, and obviously that bubble as well for next weekend. There's only one place to be, May the 23rd. That's here at Sky City Theatre. Join us. In the meantime, get on our Facebook page to win yourself some Mammoth or that drive in that Lamborghini Huracan. That's pretty epic. So the Let's Play Live HQ Facebook page. Thanks for tuning in, both on Sky Sport and tuning in on Twitch, and all your banter. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. It's been fun for me and Simon, and we'll be same place, same time next week here, live on Sky Sport. We thank you. My name's Brendan White, and this is
Simon Chapman.
And we'll sign off. Bye for now.
This LPL Pro presentation was proudly brought to you by Star Insurance.